Hi, everybody. Welcome to Shot Takes. This is our third episode that we're doing here. As is tradition, we have 6 shots for me and my guest here, Dom. We'll get into a little bit of who he is here soon. We have Ian J. Apple. We got this kind of tower situation going on because it's Halloween. It's what, the 28th or 29th or something like that. But yeah, this is our guest, Dom. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and get us to know you a bit.
My name's Dom. I'm a simple man. That's it. No accomplishments. Just living the good life.
What is the good life for you? What do you do? What do you got going on?
No stress.
No stress. Okay. You playing any games recently or watching any good shows recently?
All I do is play video games. I play video games and work. And then learn about crypto. That's all I do.
Yeah, real talk. This man was picking people up for the Halloween party because there wasn't a lot of parking for everybody, and so this man, when you would get in his car to take you to the party, he was blasting a podcast about cryptocurrency and turning to you while driving, saying, "Have you heard of my Lord and Savior cryptocurrency before?"
That's actually not true. I was not looking at him while driving. but
the rest though.
But yes, no. I did warn people. I was getting in the car. I was sitting there. So I was like, it's Halloween. It's spooky. It's crypto. So you go. I figured it matched.
Yeah, I mean, you won the costume competition.
Sam Bankman-Fried's scary enough.
We'll get into some topics like that, but yeah, I mean, he did a pretty cool costume. If we have some pictures, we'll try and pull it up at some point. But he did a cool I guess stitched together Frankenstein costume for our Halloween party we had here. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, so kind of like a stitched together zombie, kind of like Frankenstein, just uglier, nastier.
Yeah. But okay, so we have if you haven't watched Shot Takes before, we do 6 different topics. For each topic, we take a shot, and then we talk about a topic that's going to be related, ideally, to our guest or something that's going on in the modern world. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get our first shot.
Okay.
First shot in. I will emphasize Dom does not drink often, if at all.
Nope.
That last time I remember Dom drinking, it was, I think, our 21st. Belated 21st birthday.
Yeah, more than a shot of drinking was at Lanigan's when it was open downtown. I don't know if I should have said that, but no, and then that was it. That was my first and last time going hard on drinking. That was it, only once.
Lanigan's, wow.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
I like that place too. That place was nice.
We need that.
We do.
We need that in this town, man.
Nice high-class bar.
Yeah.
When Riff Raff comes, they come and they ruin it for everybody.
No,
right.
but more Taco Bells. We got more of those.
And Dollar Generals.
Yeah.
The sign of every dying. Let's clink the first one, and then after that,
We clink?
we lightly tap our cups together. It's tradish.
See, he's got the good drink. He's got coffee. He's got the good drug.
Not bad, right?
Where's my number?
There's no number.
Yeah,
We're trying a bit different of a format for this one because we're centering our topics more, but we'll get into that. So, what's the first question we have here?
All right. So up today we got the Microsoft acquisition of Blizzard. For those who don't know, entertainment company Blizzard Entertainment was recently bought by the megalith Bill Gates and his giant company Microsoft for their gaming
he's
division.
just swinging his Bill Gates cock all around the gaming space and just murking it up for everybody.
Yeah, also buying tons of farmland too. That's a thing.
Wait, what?
Google it. We got the screen. Jamie, look that up.
All right. All right. So yeah, the Blizzard acquisition. For people who don't know, I think on the 20th of October, 19th, well, 17th of October, Blizzard was bought out by Microsoft. So I don't know how that's gonna really affect things. I don't know if they're gonna make it like console exclusives. I guess I should say only you're only allowed to play Overwatch or Diablo and stuff like that, either on the PC or or whatever else.
Well,
yeah.
What they got to drown Sony somehow, but because I don't know. Microsoft's not the best company anyway, but because don't forget they tried to force us to be online with all of our games with the Xbox back when the Kinect was coming out and stuff like that. So and Microsoft doesn't have a good history of being a good company anyway. Though I'm more positive than negative. but we'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah. So what do you know about this acquisition, I guess? Like, do you think that it's going to be overall good for the company, given that they've had, like, you know, all these, like, sexual harassment suits going on, and, you know, they've been releasing lackluster games recently and under-promising?
Blizzard specifically is what you're talking about.
Blizzard, yes.
For Blizzard?
So, like, Blizzard recently has had a pretty bad rep. And, like, all of their games are kind of like, I don't know if they're dying or what word you want to use for it, but, like, I guess, like, what do you think about, like...
They've been dead. They've been dead for a while. Like, I've been regretting buying expansions for World of Warcraft for many years now. The rating in the dungeons have always been top tier, but the rest of it, no innovation. It's just been the same reselling of the game. There's been no innovation. There's been, I don't know, there's just been nothing going there. Like, Overwatch has been stagnant for how many years? Yeah. Diablo was short-lived. Diablo 4 was short-lived. Yeah. Where's Heroes of the Storm?
Did you play Diablo 4?
Yeah, I did. And I actually had tons of fun with it, but it didn't last long. Was it worth $80 for early access? No. But was it worth the 70? I think so. I played it a lot. I played it probably too much. But
so, like, how many hours do you think you put into Diablo?
I don't know. Too much. Probably definitely over 60, 70.
That's a pretty
exactly.
That's a good. You understand, like, its shortcomings. Like, I think that, like, people who play it for like 6 hours don't have the same right to kind of critique the game. So you gave it a legitimate chance, and, you know, as far as I know, Diablo is, like, known as being a game that people, like, binge. Like, people still play the original Diablos. You know?
Yeah.
Especially too.
Nothing lasts forever, and if anything shows, people are still playing Diablo. What is it? Diablo 2 Remastered. People are still playing classic WoW. Older doesn't mean worse. It's the same thing with movies. You go back and you watch some of these old movies and we play these old video games. People work their ass off. This was people's passion. This was their life. You just don't see that anymore.
Yeah.
Not unless you dive deep and look for the good games,
indie
like
games
the indie games. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like the indie. You have to dive deep. Most people don't even know them. That they don't even play about them until they hit streamer or YouTube mainstream. Then that's it. That's
so
the only people
you're
know.
A big fan of Blizzard's innovation. Like, what do you think that their most innovative?
Wait, I'm a big fan.
No, I mean, like, you mentioned earlier that you don't think there's any innovation going on in the Blizzard space anymore.
No, I'm trying.
If you want to just elaborate on that, I guess. Like, what do you think?
What's the last innovative thing they've done? You know?
I mean, like, they're still making, like, you know, games, but like they have their properties, right?
Since we got the big old World of Warcraft map, and well, think about World of Warcraft. Like, it's just been ratings and mythic dungeons, which are excellent. They're fun. They're amazing, but it's got its own issues. But besides that, every single new system mechanic that they've introduced into their we got Torghast with what is it? Oh yeah, he laughs. See, Torghast or I was so angry with Expedition Islands. I was so excited.
Tell us about Expedition Islands for people who may not know.
They were actually supposed to be similar to Torghast. They're supposed to be kind of a slight randomization when you queued up go into it, and it was also supposed to have these, what would you say, more intelligent AI, kind of like simulate like players, where you can play against real players. You go onto this island. It's supposed to be a random map. You go in, you face players or a really tough AI, but it just ended up kind of just playing just like a dungeon, a shitty dungeon, a really bad dungeon. And it's like if I wanted to kill NPCs and run around and just AOE grind down mobs, I'll go do that in Mythic, where it's better and more interesting and fun. Now PvP, people who did PvP, which was very few people PvP, would say that it was actually good, but for the majority who are bad and don't PvP, they didn't experience that. It wasn't there, so it was just a waste. It was not fun. It was boring. The only time I had fun is when our player completely disregarded, went off and did his own thing, and it was just me and my girlfriend playing, and we were struggling against the 3-player AI, and that's what made it fun.
Because it was challenging.
Yeah, because it was challenging, and that was the one time it was fun. It was like
I think that's where World of Warcraft shined for me when I was like in my youth, and like I like really enjoyed the game. Nostalgia aside, I think that making unique experiences that aren't by design makes the game better. You know, like, I think giving the players the ability to have those unique experiences should be at the top of their priority list, instead of introducing things that make players get further away from each other.
Yeah. Well, the new experience only lasts about like what 2 weeks to a month, and then it wears off if you don't have good design or interesting gameplay. The magic wears off. It's new for a month, then it's gone. But you can dive into anything else. Like look at Diablo. It's just I'm not an expert on Diablo. There's probably some people who can be better at getting into it. But people are going back into Diablo 2 and they're showing that there's a lot more intricate gameplay. There's a lot more choices you can make. A lot more design in that. With Diablo, there is not that. The skill tree, there's really not much options. It's kind of set for you. There's only so much you can do.
All right.
Same thing with Classic. Like you go in there and people are fury tanking. People are you can mismatch us.
Even like feral druids, right? Like feral druids suck, and even if you do play them well, they suck. But there's still things like you have the crowd pummeler you can go get from a specific dungeon that you can use certain amount of times to make them somewhat more viable.
Yeah.
You know, and it's that open box sandbox gameplay that is missing a bit more nowadays. So.
Yeah. Side note, Dave,
Couldn't agree
mind
more.
Closing that for me real quick.
Sure.
Close it. Thank you. But yeah, the other point I bring up, I mean, like we're trying to focus in on the Blizzard acquisition. Do you think that Microsoft will actually make some good decisions to make their brand be better? Because I mean, I don't really understand the dynamic of it. Is Activision still at the head? Like, do they have are the people who was in charge of Activision? Are they? Or I don't fully understand. Is Blizzard bought by Microsoft, or is like Activision like still like in the picture? Like, how does that all work?
I think Activision is going to be on its way out. I think they have a certain transition time. I'm assuming you can't just instantly transfer. I'm assuming they have a certain amount of time. I think to the end of this year, Bobby Kotick is going to be out, I believe. But I'm assuming they have a certain amount of transition time. No, I don't think Activision. I think they're going to have to remove Call of Duty off of the Battle.net launcher, right? I think that's the only one that has to go.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
And let's all be honest, we all want our World of Warcraft sub to be on Game Pass.
Yeah, that'd be so nice.
I want to be able to play Classic Plus with Game Pass, but I don't know if they do that because I think that's taking money away from Blizzard. Actually, I don't know how that works, or I don't know if Microsoft says, I'm the bank now, give me that.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Like, paying for Xbox Gold would get you like a World of Warcraft subscription. Do you think that they would like make like, I don't know. I think you could already plug your keyboard and mouse into like an Xbox One. I'm not sure. I don't play not Xbox. What is the fucking new Xbox? Xbox Series Delta. What the fuck is it? I don't. Like, do you think that they'll actually create apparatus for World of Warcraft to be played on the console, or do you think that it's still just going to remain a PC thing?
There's already been some, some innovation on World of Warcraft in Dragonflight, which has been some kind, like you've actually seen some kind of change in Dragonflight. Is they did a huge upgrade to interface and options in the menu to where you can it looks like you can more easily play it on the controller. So, and I don't know.
Could you imagine how hard that would be?
It would, but it can be done. Well, it depends.
Do you think that the game suffers from that? Because if they simplify abilities in order to be mapped on a controller or whatever?
I believe it can be done. You just got to have somebody who's really good at doing their job. Like, what would it be? A software engineer would do that? I don't know. Like the whole thing. I believe there's a way to do it, but there's already add-ons that do that. And they kind of give it that console over the shoulder kind of Witcher feel. And since there's stuff out there, if you go and look on the add-ons, and it looks like they're setting up for that, and I hope they will, because it's World of Warcraft's been around. Like I feel like the interface is a lot more simpler in retail than it is in Classic, and I feel like it can be done, especially with multi-layer buttoning. You can do it.
Yep.
You can figure it out.
Yeah. So, I mean, when it comes to the Blizzard acquisition, I guess it isn't just World of Warcraft. Like, how does that affect the other games in the space? I know that I used to be a big Hearthstone player. I haven't touched that game in like a year and a half, 2 years now.
And why is that?
I think that the nail in the coffin for me was Battlegrounds. It was very fun, but it kind of fractured their player base. I think that when you design a game, you need to have like a uniform experience that everybody's kind of experiencing, and then you give them the tools to kind of expand upon that experience, if that makes sense. So with like World of Warcraft, you're talking about like your moments, right? Like for me, it's like the things that aren't in the game that make the game fun, or not by design, I guess. But I guess like Diablo, like how does it affect like Diablo? How does it affect like Heroes of the Storm still played by people? StarCraft? I don't fucking know.
Heroes of the Storm is in maintenance mode at this point. That game is not getting any significant updates or any content. It's just kind of there
Okay.
until the player base dies. I tried looking up to see what happens to Activision during this transition. I'm
Mhm.
not getting any real like
Okay.
if they're dissolving their board or like what's going on with that. The only thing I found is that Bobby Kotick will remain in place with the transition until the end of 2023. So
Okay, so what about the new head of I guess like Blizzard? Like who's coming? I think it's like one of their senior devs from when the World of Warcraft era is coming back.
Oh, Metzen?
Metzen, yeah, but he's the story guy. So ever since Blizzard started, well, maybe not since he started, but since Blizzard got important with Warcraft, the original Warcraft, he was their story guy. So all the old art you see on Warcraft and things like that.
Is that
that's all
somebody
him.
is that somebody who's gonna have like the skills to like lead a company? I guess
He's not leading. He's going to be their president of creative.
Oh, so he's
direction
kinda
for
just-
World of Warcraft specifically.
he's just kind of a spokesperson type
No.
situation.
No, he's going. So he knows. He created and knows all the lore for the game,
Okay.
and he also is the one who moves the story forward. And he left a couple years ago, and coincidentally, the story's gone to shit,
Hmm.
right? Because there's no unified
Yeah,
vision of like what Warcraft is.
the Soul Sylvanas storyline. Just like let's just give him that fan service, baby. What are her motivations? Nobody fucking knows. She's fucking run around
But
and
she can kill the Lich King for some fucking reason.
She's just hot and she does what she wants and she's spunky.
Oh my god.
I was really hesitant because like I don't know if I can talk about fucking 5-6 years ago Warcraft spoilers, but Varian passing on the banner to Anduin. Like, I was very hesitant about that because, like, Anduin never really struck me as, like, a leader type
Hot
personality.
take. I like Anduin.
Yeah, I
That's
think
a very hot take.
I
Yeah,
think
I
that
do
they
like it.
did as good of a job as they could have of kind of, like, making him the protagonist, I guess you could say.
I didn't. Well, if I didn't like how he got turned into a temporary Lich King. That was kind of fucking stupid.
He got
but
turned into a temporary
that
Lich
was
King.
the worst part of it. Yeah, I didn't. We all hate Shadowland story
Yeah.
at least story.
Blizzard hates
story.
Shadowland story. Like, straight up, they're trying to retcon that shit as much as
We
possible.
all no, it's just not. No, I actually generally liked. People don't like Anduin's soft spot. I actually like it. I think there's a genuine story, something there for the I guess the hero's journey. But
It's definitely something to work with.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially like knowing who his dad is, because like his dad started out on the side of being a hard leader,
Mhm.
right? Who takes no shit and is about to dismantle the horde, right?
Yeah.
And then slowly becomes more moderate to
Yeah.
where before he dies, he yells for Azeroth instead of for the Alliance.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now and now for Anduin, it's like, oh, we're all friends and
Yep.
I love you, but like
Yeah, I respected that. I wanted, like I think what Mr. Pandaria, I guess it's called, is was going more into that. I want a little bit more philosophy, a little bit more thoughtful in Mr. Pandaria, but didn't really happen. But yeah, that was the general move in Mist, was to go like that kind of that journey a little bit.
I hated Mr. Panda. So fucking. I wish that expansion could just like kind of just be shoved into the corner and just like I mean like it was a very like they had some cool looking biomes, but like I was just not really feeling it, and it felt really cartoonish. It felt like they weren't really appealing to me as like a seasoned
Yeah, a
World of
lot of
Warcraft
people.
player.
Yeah, a lot of people want that old Warcraft feel, which Mist was very beautiful, very what would you say?
Cartoony.
I
Well,
would say it
pandas.
kinda-
The pandas made it cartoony. For some reason, pandas feel a little too fantasy, which I don't think a lot of people want to go into. Is what made it that way. But generally, a lot of people actually remember the mechanic wise and the gameplay of Mist because everything was the most balanced. So you can actually play your spec and class in Mythics and well, I don't know. I'm sorry, Mythics. I don't know if Mythics were out or Heroics.
Whatever
and,
the
and
equivalent
raids,
is.
and actually can have fun and play the game instead of just getting rejected because you're not playing the top 10 DPS, and let's not get into that.
I mean, I think at the end of the day, though, like an expansion has to have a good feel, a good Warcrafty feel to it for people to actually like it. Like for example, Dragonflight, from what I hear as well, mechanically is starting to bring the game back to a better spot, even if it's not there completely. But still, nobody cares because there's fucking furry dragons as the main class. You
Well,
know
can we
what I mean?
talk about these furry dragons? Do you have any pictures?
Yeah.
Well, they're not really furry, but yeah.
They're scalies, but
Yeah,
I didn't want to
exactly.
drop scalies.
Yeah.
What do you think the best moves are that somebody could make if when they fully acquire, or they did fully acquire? Like, what do you think the best moves are? What would you change?
Listen to the sweaties.
Okay.
The end, you win.
I actually disagree. I think the game is being led by a bunch of hardcore raiders, and they're making the game for a bunch of hardcore.
I totally
you know what?
agree with that.
You know
Well,
what? Yes, I have. You know what? You're right about that. But the sweaties are also correct in some ways. But yes, that is true actually, because the game has gotten. I'll actually have to agree with. I'll have to step back a little bit on that one, because you are right. Because the mythic raiding and dungeons is a bit absurd, or even just trying to move into that as a semi-hardcore or sweaty person is difficult, as me and Tim have ranted on for plenty of times. Not getting brought into mythics all because of your class.
Yeah.
is a shitty
fucking
game.
racist,
It's
dude.
a shitty
Fucking
game.
racist.
Yeah, I would play survival. I'd be playing survival hunter, topping DPS, but people wouldn't invite me because I'm a survival hunter. Because I love
I
playing
had the
that class.
same issue in what was the Afterlife expansion? I forget what the fuck it was. Shadowlands. I was a prop paladin, I think, and I couldn't play PvP because everybody was like, "We only want this kind of Death Knight on our team." It's like, all right, I guess I'll just go fuck myself.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I kind of feel like that's it's a problem with modern gaming.
Yeah.
Less than it is the game.
Statistically driven.
What the game needs to do is it needs to attract people who are more open to just playing the game and having fun with it.
Yeah.
Because the state of modern gaming is everybody wants to optimize everything.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much they can really fix that as much as offset it.
Yeah,
you know?
well, there also is different types of sweaties. I guess I should be more specific. There are sweaties, people who play the game nonstop, casually, like they're not doing end game content. They're collecting mounts. They're just like Final Fantasy players. I'd imagine there's a lot of people who are just living in the world. There's those, like, there's people who know life games, but they don't necessarily go all in to the end game experience
stuff.
like that.
Exactly.
So listen
just really enjoy
listen to
playing the
those
game.
people as well who want the world to be a world.
Yeah,
You know
I
what
have friends that like they just literally enjoy just like leveling characters. That's just like what they do. Right?
Yep.
And I could totally get that because that's my favorite part of the game. I
Yeah.
like just getting on and just like playing with friends and just having an adventure. That's all I want is just to have an adventure. You know, I don't really care about min maxing. But where's the furry aspect of this dragon?
I mean, look at that character design though. Does that look like a World of Warcraft character?
It looks
to you?
very lazy.
It looks like a fucking fan art, like deviant art character that somebody made 10 years ago.
Oh,
Like,
it's
what if you could play as dragons in World of
Scaly.
Warcraft?
I mean, so to be fair, I could understand trying to attract that audience to your game by putting something like that in it. I can understand the mentality behind it, but it doesn't match the
Where
universe.
are the badass
Because
dragons?
it like humans, like dragons transform to a human form. They've never been like a humanoid thing.
That's the thing. Well, here's the thing. Well, they had to make them more humanoid looking because the people who want to
they're cute.
No,
They're
that's
cute.
not World of Warcraft.
I don't.
bro.
I think they can. They look more World of Warcraft than the dragon. I'm not playing the game, so I don't know. I mean, Trash Panda looks alright to me. He looks like he fits in the World of Warcraft universe.
I mean, I guess after Mist of Pandaria, yeah, that fits. But like, you look at like Wrath of the Lich King, WoW.
It
or
looks like
even
a knockoff
Cataclysm,
like
WoW.
Goblin. It looks like they're using just like the Goblin.
no, it
like,
uses
model,
the same model.
right?
It does.
Yeah.
It does. It uses the exact same model as the.
Oh my gosh, you can see that in
the
the
goblin.
stance. You're 100% right.
It just looks like a goblin. I mean, like if they put like actual
Tim,
effort into it.
It is a goblin reskinned.
Yeah,
stitched on, just like my costume.
And don't get me wrong.
Underneath is goblin.
So let's just talk it back to Diablo. Preseason was great.
Preseason was great. Okay, so I didn't play much Diablo. So what are its redeeming qualities in relation to the preseason, Dom?
Huh?
Diablo 4.
Diablo.
The preseason.
Like before season 1. Because that's what I heard too. I didn't play it, but I heard that after season 1, it just went way down the cliff.
But yeah, because actually the story, personally, I enjoyed. I thought it was good. There was actually good character development. Shit was sad. Oh my god, the music was phenomenal. You go listen to Kovashad music. Oh my god, it's Dude, I tell you what, you go in there and listen, like The music was great for me personally. The storyline was great. There was a lot of good character development, a lot of twists and turns that I did not see coming. Like you figured you'd be like, oh, I know where this is going. Nope, didn't go that way. Even Lilith as a villain was a little bit empathizable, even though not as empathizable. I think a lot of people thought she should have been. She did some pretty horrific shit in that game, and people were like, Lilith, I'm so with her. I'm like, oh, shut up, you simp.
Make the same character a dude.
Spoiler alert, you jammed a crystal in some dude's son, and just to punish him. Just like, no, you're not a good person. No.
All right, so let's see. The other question we have here, you can map abilities to trigger to flip. Yeah, I kind of assumed that's how you would do it, but even if you do that, like, you still only have access to comfortably a max of 12 abilities times 2, so 24. I guess that fits all the abilities, but it's
I disagree. I do a similar setup with my mouse. I have 6 buttons laid out on a mouse, and then you do Control, Shift, or Alt modifiers, and with the controller, you would just do triggers or bumpers. So
what
if you
about
have
for targeting?
four buttons,
Mm-hmm.
well, they actually added an action camera option to WoW. They took a mod that was really popular where wherever you're looking at is where you attack.
Interesting.
And that's actually a base game feature now. If you go in your interface settings, you can do an action camera that changes your target based off of what's in front of you.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be a naysayer. I'm just trying to combat it to see what would work and what wouldn't work.
Yeah.
If there's solutions for it, I'd love to see it on the console and get new younger people playing the game. That'd be sick, because a lot of people, they're kind of walled out of certain games because it's a PC. And it's kind of that's a different realm, and even their parents might not even get them a PC because they don't fully understand what it is that they need to buy or whatever else. So I'm totally open for them trying to make it a console game.
And at the end of the day, how many abilities do you really need at hand at any given time?
That's also kind of what Mist of Pandaria did. It actually did water down some abilities, which is fine. As long as there's enough. It's like some games like New World don't have enough.
I can get behind that,
but
too.
I love New World. I'm a huge fan. I want New World to succeed. Hot take. I like New World, and I actually just started playing it again. I want it to succeed, but needs more diversity in its gameplay.
I love
combat.
the action. The actual combat of New World is leagues better than any other MMO I've played.
Yes, sir.
And the problem is everything else around it is not up par to what brings people back.
Yes, sir.
with what brings people back to MMOs, you want to be able to go on an adventure, but you have to fucking walk everywhere or use a currency that you only get a certain amount of, which they fix in this expansion, but nobody cares at this point. Everybody's already moved on. Are you guys ready for the next shot?
We got plenty of Blizzard topics, so we'll get into it. What's the next one? You ready, Dom?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Real quick, plenty of time between shots, you think, right?
We'll find out.
We don't have to click this one.
What
do we got?
And we kind of actually already talked about this a little bit, but what made World of Warcraft iconic, and what was lost over time?
Ooh, too much.
Yeah, if you couldn't hear it, what made World of Warcraft iconic, and what was lost over time?
Who's going first, me or you?
You can go ahead.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I think we were already kind of talking about it. That grittiness, I guess. I guess some people don't like the whole cute Pandaren little I guess vibe wise, they want that gritty, they want Warcraft, they want war. I think also what makes Warcraft iconic was the time you spent in the world, which it does take way too much time to grind out to that level 60 in Classic. At least I think that's what people think about, is you're spending time in the world. There's no reason that you cannot have dungeon-like mechanics, or at least a little bit harder mechanics, things to do in the open world. There's no reason you can't put that type of gameplay in the open world and make it feel like an open world. Just have Classic, but bring in more things to do in the open world. And I think that's what makes.
Well, what are those more things?
Well, World PvP personally for me, I'm a big fan of both PvE and PvP. I love it. It just makes the world pop. But those experiences, I guess we've kind of talked about them. You're spending, because the game's so slow, you're spending so much time in each zone in the open world, which in most modern day gaming today, you're flying so fast through things. You're going instantly from one thing to the next. You're loading into the next dungeon. You're flying through the zone. You're not standing in one place longer than 2 seconds.
Right.
So when you're taking your time and you're spending time in the world, you see people, you talk to people, you fight people.
You need people.
Conflicts happen. Yep. Grudges happen.
Yeah.
It's like friendships happen, and then also I think what makes World of Warcraft conic is the world is actually dangerous.
Yeah.
Whoa, it's actually like I think I can't remember who's coming out with it, but somebody's coming out with a survival MMO. I think it might be Blizzard's working on it, which might be get released here in a week at BlizzCon, or I think it's Riot. And
I doubt it's Blizzard. I thought they're making something new. I would be flabbergasted. What's the last new thing they did?
But like I think also what people don't realize is it has a little bit of that old gameplay. Like you get punished. You're not like, oh, you died, whatever, here immediately restart. You're punished. Like it sucks to die. You got to walk back, and things are dangerous in the world, which needs to be a little bit like I said. I think what people don't realize is it kind of feels like almost like a survival MMO a little bit, especially if you're playing hardcore now. But in classic, is you can get killed by 2 mobs if you're playing stupid or you're running too loosely. You're gonna die. So you're like, oh, I gotta team up with Dave over here because I pulled 5 mobs. Dave, help! And then that's how friendships are made.
Nothing scarier than like Murlocs were like a threat, right? Like they were legitimately a threat because like they spawned so quick that like you get overwhelmed like really quickly, right?
Yeah. Well, there's also a mini. Everyone's playing not a roguelike. Every time I think about like a stealth game, at least the social gatherings of mobs of NPCs in World of Warcraft is unique because when you're playing World of Warcraft Classic, every mob has like a little. They call it social grouping. So like if you pull a mob and it's like circle around it, it's like kind of like an aggro range. It'll pull everything that's chained to it if it's within that circle. So you're kind of almost playing like a semi-stealth game while you're playing like when you're approaching it, like how do I pull this? So I come at this angle.
It's like lily pads. It's like Frogger. You gotta like kind of choose which like mob you want to like go through. That you have to fight in a little pocket. Like I can't go this far. I have to like fight him here. And if I go too far that way, it's gonna pull all these people.
And just that simple mechanic of if I pull this guy and he's too close to the other guy, I'm gonna pull this whole camp. It's like there's like so you're playing this little game within a game, and it just. There's so many hidden things like that, hidden little gems like that in Classic that make a lot. You don't see that in Final Fantasy. I played Final Fantasy. You don't see that in New World. There's like and all that stuff like that. But go ahead.
So returning to Classic, is it genuinely a funner experience than retail?
Yeah. At just not the end game though. I do still find retail's dungeons so much more fun, so much more engaging in raiding. But yeah, I generally have a better time in Classic, besides how sometimes it can get a little grindy. It's way too grindy at times. That's why I think you need more things in the world to do to bypass that grind, whatever you can. Besides that, but yeah, I've been having an absolute blast. The friendships made, the conversations had, the intense moments, the sad moments when you die. It's just a more fun and engaging experience.
Now, do you play with add-ons, or do you kind of play like normally? You're good. Do you play with add-ons? Or do you play it like actually just like how God intended?
No,
Blizzard?
No. You do not play Classic as God intended. As good as Classic is, you need add-ons, especially. Well, that's the problem with, especially if you're playing a warrior. You should not have to make so many macros. It's just bad class design. I
completely forgot about that. Macro.
Yeah.
I hated macro.
But no, that's the biggest issue that's been with World of Warcraft. The biggest, and I think, at least this is my opinion, the biggest and worst thing about World of Warcraft is the barrier to entry. And only recently has people like Asmongold been talking about this. Yep. It's sad to say, but it's the barrier to entry. Well, I guess macros aren't that much of a thing anymore. It's the key bindings. It's the add-ons, and this is Blizzard's failure. It's been 12.
It's the metagame, right?
How many years has it been? And your interface is so bad, you've just now, after 12, 13 years, finally started working on it. That's an example of how bad Blizzard is. Like, when someone comes into a game, sorry, I'm going to go off on this.
No, I know. Yeah, that's all you're amped up, dude.
When you have to download 20 add-ons and you have to learn how to type on a keyboard, good luck getting for people to learn how to type while you're playing your game, which is the key bindings. And if you have to create macros, I'm sure there still is some macros out there, but Yeah, it's bad, but
No, it was absolutely essential. Like, I remember having to be warrior in like PvP and have macros because like the only way you could trigger those abilities on top of each other was to have a macro in order to get all those stacks to be going at once. Otherwise, you're waiting for like CDs and stuff like that. As far as I remember, it was very, very long time ago, but you had to have macros in order to play the game efficiently. And that comes back to, you know, I think where World of Warcraft kind of is now is like playing the game as efficiently as possible, right? Like, I personally really enjoyed not knowing shit about the game, right?
Yeah.
Like, everything you did was a mystery. I know that when I used to play in high school with me and Dom in 10th grade, I think, we became friends and we got a group together to start playing World of Warcraft. We would go from one starter zone to another starter zone on the other side of the planet and quest in that starter zone. Yeah. We didn't like understand the concept of like doing yellow quest, you know? There was a point where I just in South Shore, I remember being a Tauren warrior. I'm like, I have no idea where to go. I have no idea how to continue playing my game. I have no idea what to do.
Yeah,
you know?
I miss when you played Dwarf in Tauren. You were actually cool back then.
Thanks.
Now he just plays human, lame,
boring,
uninspiring,
super edgy. I remember too is like we played Horde to start because like the concept of being a bad guy in a video game was rare back then. So I was like, oh cool, I'll be this Minotaur dude. The only person I liked on the Horde besides maybe Undead. But whenever that first playthrough kind of failed, we switched over to the Alliance, and I saw what Stormwind looked like. I'm like, shit like this exists in the game? I remember like, holy fuck, Dom, you see this fucking I remember like literally making my character like go down on its knees and go like this. Like, this is fucking crazy.
There's more than dirt in this game?
It's like before that, my exposure to like...
That's all of what Kalimdor is just dirt.
Before that, my exposure to the cities was like Ogrebar. It's just like, what the fuck is this place, you know? It's like, I mean, I get it, it's fitting the vibe, but like, that isn't like a city to me. So like after that, like I was like, all right, Alliance is definitely where I need to be, you know?
Yeah, this isn't good for me. I'm already feeling it, Mr. Krabs.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm a lightweight, Tim. This is about to get interesting the next 4 questions.
How's that?
That's good.
If you had to pick key features of it that you would want to recreate to kind of recapture that magic, and I don't really know, like people like gaming culture goes through phases, right? Of like right now we're like at the end of like the battle royale phase, we're into like the Roblox phase of like gaming from new gamers, right? So like what made it work back then, and how would you make it work now without it being as much about just being the best, or do you have to make it about being the best in order for it to succeed?
No, well, so many. There's like 2 or 3 questions in there, but
it's like an hour topic.
I know. Well, people have already talked about this plenty of times on YouTube. It's Classic Plus, I think, is the answer to slow down the gameplay. Like I said, like I've already talked about the world, stuff like that, and like you don't, like I said, the world's dangerous. Like I said, also that like being in the world's dangerous, which you don't have anymore. Everything's easy, at least up until the game is nothing. It's easy. It's all the way up until you do like Mythic 10s is when even the game becomes even challenging, unless you're completely new to like you've never played an MMO before. Now then you asked,
see that aspect of like Mythic 10. Do you
also
think that we have to have a very specialized, like this is what gear level you're at, so these are the things you have to do, right? Like me personally, I've always hated that like there's like the fact that I have to go on a website to see my built-in like item level and shit like that. That was so foreign to me that I have to go through this much effort to like be able to play the game in the end game, right? I remember that you, like when we were sitting there in Northern, we're all in fucking Dollar End, and we're kind of just like, it's the first time we've been max level, and the first time we were like really trying to tackle being end game level, and we were like, we have no idea what to do. And Dom like shut himself away. He's just like, I'm gonna go figure this out.
Probably not doing a very good job.
He did a decent job. He did the same thing with Risk. I remember my 16th birthday when we got we did get jumped. Dom got attacked. We'll get into that in a second.
Oh my god.
But anyway,
we get so off in the weeds on this.
But that night, I remember that Dom also shut himself away. We were like never played board games, like a serious one outside of Monopoly, and we had Risk there. Nobody knew how to play, and Dom's like, I'm gonna go sit in the corner and just read this fucking book.
As best as a young teenage high schooler can, which is not very well. I just now figured out in Classic of how important what weapon strength is to a freaking warrior. Like, I was bad back then. I was bad.
Even now, you look at yourself as like you were bad back. Does that really matter? Like, if you're just enjoying the game?
To the people that I was arguing with, yeah. But no. All the good times and good memories, like I wouldn't trade those times and those memories that we had playing together in World of Warcraft for anything. Yep. Though they got taken away from me by my girlfriend, I wish I had more of them. There would have been more of them without her. God damn.
I hope she's not watching this right now.
Hey, listen, she knows.
All right, Dom. So, in terms of like those iconic memories, what are some of your favorite memories from?
How many questions do I got? Like, are we still on topic?
Sorry,
like...
I'm just stacking it on there. Feel free to tackle whatever.
Hey, listen, I'm having fun, so it's whatever you want to talk about. But well, my favorite memories. Well, we obviously have to have, what is it? Look at the map. What's it called? Darkshire?
Yeah, look at the map.
Darkshire? Of course, our Worgen chasing Darkshires. You know, our first time going into this creepy, dark forest. And
you had to have like a lantern or something?
Once again, like, I think the role playing. Wait, I was about to say this before we got off topic about. I guess I can kind of tie this into both.
We like walk. I remember walking. Or
RP like walking. But
yeah, I would RP walk.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. World building, role playing. But before I get into like some of my memories, is like class quests. People have mentioned this multiple times. There's class quests and also small details like. I also got the AI voice. Let's not even get into that AI in video games, but the AI add-on for Hardcore Classic, amazing. I'm learning so much more about the game that I just clicked.
You want to elaborate on what AI voice is? People might not know what that is.
There's an add-on for Classic World of Warcraft that takes the small voices, like, cause, believe it or not, all the way back in the day, Classic World of Warcraft had actually voiceover for just random mobs that you wouldn't even that you
NPCs.
NPCs who aren't important, and they took that and they put it into AI, and then they took their whole script and they used it, and so now their whole script is now, instead of just reading in Classic World of Warcraft, they talk. It's pretty good. It's pretty good, and what you realize in Classic is what they don't have in retail is there's a lot of attention to tiny details that do bring the world out. Like I was telling Tim the other day, there's this dwarf in Stormwind who's talking about the humans in Stormwind overtaxing you. Don't get scammed by them because it's cheap to come through the tram and tell them that you'll just buy her goods off her. Just something so small and insignificant as that, and brings the world alive. And I'm like, you don't get that in retail.
You don't get that. I remember being a dwarf warrior or whatever the fuck I was back then, and Don was also like a human, I think, warrior back then.
Yeah, plain and boring.
But
we swapped.
Yeah, we did swap, but there was a point where we were like questing for like maybe like level 20, 30 or whatever, and we were in the, it was the bottom right district of Stormwind, and there was a human and a dwarf duo that actually go into a tavern and they sit and have a beer. We sat on the table across and we're like, oh, that's us, and you know, in 20 years.
If you stay around them long enough, you find out they're actually veterans from the last two
and
wars.
And guess what they're doing? Yeah. They're reminiscing about the good old times. We're doing now.
There was just something like, wow, that's actually just like me and Dom. Like that was a really interesting thing. It's just like, I'm a dwarf, he's a human, and we're like we're both warriors. It's like, we're like fitting that dynamic.
Yeah,
you know?
And then we both, I think, whenever we were like, this game's dead, we both like, we're never coming back. We actually took off all of our armor. We went into the inn and logged off, but we'd be back.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. I didn't remember that.
Yeah, see, like little things like that. Nobody's doing that in retail.
We like retired. We retired.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
we're on a realm that we weren't playing.
Let me throw out a dissenting opinion about this. How much of that is the game versus you guys being kids and not adults?
Were we even kids? We were like probably like late high school.
You're a kid.
Yeah.
If you're like until you're like 20 something, you're a kid.
I don't like to think.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't really. I feel like I could still have those experiences as an adult. I just don't have the time to like just fuck around. I'm just like very purpose driven when I get on a video game.
Exactly. This is where the efficiency meta comes from that I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
All of us are so much older now, so when we get in a video game, our mindset is, how do I maximize my fun in the shortest amount of time?
Yeah.
And for us, that feels like winning.
You
That
think
feels like seeing our goal and accomplishing that as efficiently as possible.
Yeah.
It's time to be punk rock and say fuck the system. Because like, honest to God, I think there's actually, at least for me, there's been kind of a return to stop caring, almost kind of return to like being childish. Actually, going back to that, like doing things not the way that they're not supposed to be done. Like just last night, we had a pretty fun experience in New World. Me, Brittany, Tom, and Mike, we all got on, and were we the correct level for the dungeon? No, we were level 20. Brittany wasn't even getting gear; she was so low. Did we have a tank? Was that the meta? No, but guess what? We nearly died almost every pool. But guess what? I fought off to my death of the mind. But guess what? We had an amazing time, and we completed the dungeon without a tank. We had a blast. I think we only had one person actually die legitimately to mobs. Brittany died because I ran the mob into her because I was a fire mage male like melee tank. I was doing some wacky build and I was tanking, just flamethrowing, just like flak suit in there burning the boss down, and we had an amazing time. And I think that's kind of the return to what Tim was saying, not caring, being a child, having fun. I don't care if this is optimal, let's do it, let's see what happens. And I've been returning that, and also pushing yourself. Like, you can optimally play a game on the lowest difficulty to gain the max EXP to get to the end game to get the gear. No. As soon as I reach that level 10 and I can go up to that hard difficulty, I've been doing this in Darktide. As soon as I can do the next difficulty, I put myself in there and I have double the fun in my experience because I'm fighting for my life.
Actually fucking try.
And I'm actually trying, and amazing, memorable moments
you gotta put yourself in that, because like when you're a kid, right, and you're like in like a new zone, like you don't have perfect knowledge of the zone.
Exactly.
So like you're gonna die. But like when we're in that same position now, like there's zero chance you die. You just understand the question, know exactly what to do. So I agree. Going and challenging yourself kind of adds that original difficulty that you had, and makes it a new gaming experience. Really.
You have to say, I don't care, because like I've gotten pulled into this every single expansion. I get pulled into the loop. You get on your game, you've got two friends who are no-lifing the shit out of it, and then you have everybody around you who's doing that, who's optimizing. You almost get pulled into that mob mentality. And I found myself getting pulled. Like, why am I no-lifing this game? Slow down, have fun.
Let me throw a wrench in that. You're socially pressured to do that.
Exactly.
Because if you're in a group and you're just having fun, I'm using my flamethrower mage tank build, the other people in that group are in chat. Look at this guy, he's fucking trash at the game.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
Honestly though.
I remember several things. I remember I would tank with when you could like make builds that weren't just like you're either a tank or you're an arms warrior. I would like mix and match. I had Bladestorm as like a protection tank because I was like,
I got your shield out.
I literally, but the reason I did is because warriors back in like northern days, they had no way to pull more than one, like pull aggro on more than one person. Mm-hmm. So in my mind, I'm like,
you had challenging shout.
Well,
it was on cooldown.
Yeah, it was on cooldown.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I'm like, if I could just run in and Bladestorm, I could just like pull everybody, right? Yeah. Like, why can't you do shit like that and just experiment and not be like, this is the experience you're railroaded to have, right? And I remember also there was this Northrend dungeon. It was like one of the early mythic dungeons. It had like Jaina or whatever in it. Do you remember that dungeon?
I was just about to bring this up.
Yeah.
I remember this.
Me and Dom were like, why do we have to have one tank in dungeons?
The good old days.
Yeah, me and Dom were both tanks, so we never got a chance to play with each other. So I'm like, Dom, let's just get a group together, and we're just going to play through this dungeon with two tanks.
And by the way, go ahead.
The way you do this dungeon is you're supposed to go, there's this big center pavilion, and then if you tuck away, there's two like corridors on the right and left, and you're supposed to go in these corridors and hide in the corner and make all the enemies LOS, line of sight, and come over and fight you in the corner. We didn't do that. We played the game as Blizzard intended. We, instead of going to the little corners to LOS everybody and not take a fucking shit ton of damage, we stood in the center pavilion
Back to back.
I took
Back
back
to
to back. I took one side, and Dom took the other side.
It is.
And
awesome.
And guess what? And this is what we're talking about. Yeah, this and then guess what? The entire time we're getting screamed at by the whole group.
Yeah.
What are you? This isn't meta. And guess what? It worked, and we got the job done. Nobody died.
Yeah, nobody died. No, and we were totally fine.
It was a little bit more difficult, and guess
It
what?
was.
And now we have that memorable moment, and that's why we play video games, not to sit here and grind our time away and do what's meta so we can forget about it and just be like, oh, I wasted my time. No, we play video games for those moments. That's why I play video. I don't play it to waste my time. And, I play it for those moments that I'll never forget. That I'll be like, I don't care if I played video games and I didn't accomplish something. I had an amazing time that I'll forget, that I'll remember for the. It's no different than going on vacation. Are those moments far and few between? Yes, that's the sad part of it. But that, to me, that's just as memorable as going on vacation, going to a foreign wherever you want to go. But I also wanted to jump on his point about the social pressuring. I found out what I had to do is, it's sad to do. You have your friends, you have to kind of what's the word? Not manipulate, but kind of change and work with your friend group and the people that you play with. There's people that I play with who play play 24/7, and I can't keep up with them.
I can't.
I have to remove those people from my friends group so I can play with the people who more play like me, and I feel like people have to do that so you don't get socially pressured to do that, because I got caught into that. I remember it was in we were just talking about the expansion, not Dragonflight, but the one before,
Shadowlands.
In the middle of it, I was like, what am I doing? I'm like, I got my friends trying to pressure me. I'm seeing them doing it. I want to do it. I don't want to get left behind. And when I stopped doing that, I had a lot more fun. And people need to try it more. And the thing is, it's hard to break everyone's kind of caught up in that. And the best time to play an expansion also, sorry about hitting the mic, is at the beginning. It's the beginning, because there's more people to fight out in the open world. There's people out there doing things. It's easier to do things.
Nobody knows the meta.
And
nobody knows
everybody gets caught up in that
to
wave.
perfectly do everything. Right?
It's also easier to do things and to get to where you want to be end game faster by playing at the beginning too, because there's more people queuing up. And
they're going to be at your gear level and everything.
The game itself pressures you to go faster. But
I think I had an epiphany about this. We do need to move on, so I'll let you guys make whatever last points you want to. But I think the epiphany I'm having with this is the guild. The fact that the cross realm that they added, where different servers all play together, and you jump in a dungeon finder, you jump in a PvP auto queue thing. Everything's on an auto queue, mix everybody together type of thing. I think that's what's led to this efficiency mindset in a lot of ways, because you can't find those groups of people that you have fun with, or actually you're not required to find those groups of people to have fun with to go do a dungeon,
or have the time to find them,
or and you just press a button, you're in there, and you're expected to do your part right away, instead of being like, hey, I'm playing with, hey, do you guys want to jump in and go do a dungeon?
You dare not know how to do this fight that's only been out for a week? Have you not watched all of the YouTube videos on XYZ? You don't have deadly boss mods? Why are you even in this raid? You stupid idiot.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. So I think the game moving away from that social aspect where you're expected to find your tribe and go conquer with your tribe, I think that's what, honestly, again, modern gaming's the biggest thing to blame for this, but I think it's also not offsetting the problem with modern gaming of being efficiency focused.
Right.
Yeah. Well, also real life kind of comes into it too. Is like Tim touched about it. I don't have the time. Not only that, but this is strictly for MMOs, because modern gaming is going this way, I think, because of people's natural lives. When you're working full-time jobs, side hustles, families, girlfriends, all these things you have to balance. Who knows, helping family members. Good luck getting your boys together when they've got kids, wives, people to take care of, 2 jobs. Good luck getting I know that this is worse for MMOs, but yeah, good luck. Good luck getting everybody on at the same exact time.
This time every week. I can't say that.
Exactly.
I can't make that. That
good
commitment.
Luck. Good luck, and that's another reason why World of Warcraft's failing is another barrier to entry. As I said, good luck getting all your boys on who want to play the way you want to play with, instead of your sweaties who are just pressuring you to go. What are you doing? Why aren't you playing as much?
Those are the ones who are accessible. You press a button, you log on at 1 a.m. You press a button, you're in with the sweaties.
Yep.
Simple as that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all coming together, guys. See, it's everything. It's all coming together.
What do we got
And meanwhile, you said, and I quote, "Listen to the sweaties" at the beginning of this
Hey,
podcast.
listen. Fairly, both sweaties. The RP sweaties and the Asmongold sweaties. Listen to both.
I think the RP sweaties are sweaty for a different reason. The E in front of the RP.
Yeah, baby.
So what do we got for this next topic, real quick? I think we have 2 more Blizzard topics, and then we have some.
Damn, but we got a lot
Dude,
of
this is
Blizzard
a big
topics.
WoW one tonight.
Yeah,
man.
we're trying a format where we focus in on like 2 topics max.
Okay.
Where we-
Like what we're really gonna.
I like that because like there's a lot to go into. Yeah.
Mhm. At least for this, because this is a pretty like complex topic. I
Alright,
guess.
At least I know about
Shoot
it
her
a
up.
little bit.
Let's go.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
We're
All right.
good.
So the next conversation, which isn't necessarily just Blizzard, but why is every game coming out half baked? I guess Blizzard can fall into that too.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
Blizzard's a definition of half baked. It might be actually burnt. Something's burning.
I'm burning a game.
Oh, yeah, we have.
Wow, it's
Golem was. Golem never made it out of the mixing bowl.
Gollum definitely burnt.
The cat got on the table and started licking the mixture before Golem
it's
even
like-
got in the oven.
You got the cookie dough, and then you get salmonella. Oh my god.
No. Well, yes and no, because like we just talked about this earlier. Like there are some amazing games out there. Baldur's Gate, Elden Ring, indie games like what Dead Cells. You can go on. There are some amazing games out there. But guess what? Does the mainstream people who are playing on their mobile games and these AAA companies? It's down to corporate greed, right? We hear it time after time again. Controversies coming out of these big corporate offices, shitty CEOs, psychopaths at the top.
Yep.
Don't even get me started. Like, what Blizzard had how many people drinking breast milk out of the fridge? Harassment. People taking pictures with a known Bill Cosby, who I didn't know this, but had a reputation of being a rapist, molester, whatever you want to call him.
Mm-hmm. He went to jail.
Allegedly, what? I don't know.
Yeah, not allegedly. He went to jail.
Did he? All right, good.
He's no
good.
longer
All right,
allegedly.
sorry, I don't
You don't have
know
to
what I should be
tiptoe around it.
saying or not, but
He does like a whole confessional on one of his episodes of the Bill Cosby Show at one
Yeah,
point. He talks about his special sauce.
yeah, we
It's
hear
very
things
weird.
coming out of.
Well, what was it?
It was his
was it-
barbecue sauce.
it wasn't-
It
it
makes
wasn't-
people feel huggy wuggy, is what he says in the
It wasn't no
episode.
pudding pop.
Yeah, no,
But yeah, they associate with Bill Cosby. Blizzard did?
people took pictures in a room that had it was called like a Bill Cosby. You have to look this up. I can't remember, but it was.
Oh,
something
he called it the Cosby Suite. I think they called
yeah,
it.
the
something like
Cosby
that.
Suite, and
Yep.
it's just like that is creepy. There's something not right about there.
Uh-huh.
Like I'm like
I'm looking this up. Blizzard Cosby Suite. You guys can keep talking.
yeah, no, but what else? There's been all these large companies have like people. Like if you actually look for them, they actually kind of suppress them a little bit. Especially the stuff that's coming out about Total War right now. Creative Assembly is banning people on Steam for like, hey, when's Empire 2 come? Wait, not Empire, Rome. Wait,
Rome 3?
no, wait, what? I forget.
Medieval 2?
Medieval 2. Yes, thank you. Sorry, but Medieval 2 is coming out and got banned just for asking that.
Yeah?
And Creative Assembly is going through some shit right now. And I didn't know this.
Well,
but
what do you mean, some shit? Can you get into that?
where do I begin? Well, Total War, I came in with a very blinded and because I got lucky. I played, at least to me, the two best Total War games. I didn't know how bad it was, but but Total War Creative Assembly, probably because is owned by Sega, and here we go. Sega, the corporation, the large corporations coming in, have been churning out every single year, which is already a bad schedule in my opinion. If you're coming out with a game every year, that's not enough time to innovate and really polish your game. I think it should be at least every
Unless
2
it's
years.
Madden.
has been coming out with a Total War every single year, just like Madden. Same thing, very little innovation, very little change, and it's just dog shit. It's not what people want. People want different. People want improvement. People want different things in your game. They don't want to buy a reskin. They don't want to buy Assassin's Creed Viking. They don't want to buy Assassin's Creed Egyptian. They don't want to buy Madden, same roster, slightly different than last year. And it's just they don't want to sell their nostalgia. Like World of Warcraft's expansion is just same thing, different zone. new raids. Woo! Welcome back. And it's like there's nothing new about it, but I'm getting off into the weeds. But Total War it's exactly that. Pharaoh, this last one is just it's actually gotten worse. It's actually regressed than if you go and play Warhammer.
So you don't give a stamp of approval.
No. It's
Katie,
bad.
are you
It's
still
bad.
in here? I saw you were in the chat earlier. If you can throw your 2 cents in about he's a big Total War guy. If you could throw your thoughts in there about Pharaoh, that would be very helpful right now.
Now, I
In
will
a
say
question
this.
form.
I will
Yeah.
say this. Looks beautiful. The music's actually all right. Looks beautiful. Looks amazing. The campaign, Total War has. Oh, I'm trying to get into Creative Assembly. I'm getting off in the weeds. But Total War, it has two sides. It has a turn-based map and real-time combat, which I personally like. I don't like turn-based combat.
It has its
No.
moments.
Real-time. I don't like real-time strategy. Hot take on that. I know a lot of
Like be
people
able to take your
StarCraft.
time and kind of assess things.
It's
right?
not about how fast you are. It's about
I
actually.
don't know, man.
You
Because
can pause it, though.
yeah. So I disagree. My favorite strategy game ever was Battle for Middle Earth 2, which I'm sure that you have high regards for that too. I think it has to just be done right.
Well, it comes back to this optimization thing. But let's say you were to go online and you were to play more and more, it comes down to how fast you are, how much you can click, and how fast you can build, and how fast you can churn out your armies. It doesn't come about strategic play. And it's there, but to even get to that level of strategic play, you have to enter the barrier of how fast can you click, how good your setup, how many buttons you got,
Your
how many
APM, dude. Your actions per minute.
Exactly. So to even get to the strategy part, you have this whole hurdle that most people are not going to get past.
Same with WoW.
Boom.
Boom. So we got the question here from
it's all coming
KDW.
together.
I haven't read it yet.
So you got to read Locust's comment first because it made me almost laugh out loud
Locust,
when he was
where is he at up here? I don't know who that is.
It says Creative Assembly keep good PR challenge impossible.
KDW says they released a Sega game which is like Troy or Thrones of Britannia. If it were a major title and it's assumed that they did not make it up
Let me read
yeah,
it.
I
I
can
can
really
see a lot
small.
better.
Yeah.
They released a Saga game which is like Troy or Thrones of Britannia, again a smaller spin-off, as if it were a major title, and it's assumed that they did it to make up for the blunders of the other company, like the titles like Hyenas.
Yeah. Hyenas was $100 million waste of money. Is now
What's
what it was.
Hyenas? I didn't even hear.
I
about
haven't
this.
heard about it either.
They were creating a. It was either a. I believe it was a MOBA game or an extraction shooter. One of the two. Probably they'll know. They know. But all right. So as he said, they were creating Hyenas in the background, and they were churning out the same game with differently skinned, like no innovation, no changes to what people wanted. Like Total War it was a disaster on launch.
FPS Battle Royale game.
Yep, there it is. Yeah, going for the standard money grab, corporate thinking that they can just go in for the money grab.
Yeah.
And also the latest DLC for Warhammer, which is probably one of their best Total War games. They what was it, 150% price increase, and everybody said, "What are you doing?"
Wait, what?
It's
they
30
increased the price?
It's 30. I believe it's $30. I'm not sure about that number, but it's like half the game price. It's half the game price, and that's just the beginning. And then right after that, when everybody said we're not paying that price for a DLC that is worse than the one before that was cheaper, because they knew Hyenas was a fail.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and so this is how it starts.
So don't get me wrong, I'm totally fine with companies kind of branching off and experimenting and making different games, but
Go ahead, Tim. Finish your point.
yeah, well, we can read this. In response to a backlash, Creative Assembly defended its decision to increase the price. The company stated that their costs have risen and that they need to raise prices to support development of Warhammer 3 and plan future developments. Wow.
Yeah, but this is just an example of one of many, and right now Sega is going through their version of it. It's just what it is.
Also, I want to throw. This is kind of a wrench in the current convo, but I just got to show this picture real fast.
Sure.
That's at BlizzCon.
That
is fucked up.
Yeah, especially for
Is that the Cosby Room?
Yes.
Now
That's one of.
Yeah.
So Do you remember in Stratham you have the Afrasiabi's tobacco or whatever? It's like a mini quest. You have to go in the mailbox.
I
and
know
get
what you're
tobacco.
talking about.
I
Yeah,
It's a
actually-
call out to this guy,
Oh, really?
this developer, and this developer was the one who had a Cosby room where he was bringing girls back to.
Holy fuck. I knew that the harassment stuff at Blizzard was like bad. But like I assumed it was always just like people just being like a little extra about like their masculinity and being fucking assholes or whatever. I didn't think that it was like
This?
that it was this.
He's a fucking altar to the rapist god.
Yeah, where they literally put a quest in the game as a reference to his
Drinking breast
sexual
milk?
exploits.
drinking breast milk
Yeah,
and
but
having.
like I understand just like a fucking errant like employee just going out and just like drinking breast milk because he's a weirdo, right? It's gonna happen in any not happen in any workplace, but it could happen in any workplace. But
I
this
didn't
is
even.
so
Oh my
deep.
god! Wait a second. Hold on a second. Is that Ghostcrawler on the left?
What the fuck?
Is that Ghostcrawler on the left?
I don't know.
On the far left. I think that's Ghostcrawler.
Who's Ghostcrawler?
I don't know who that
Famous
is.
player?
Can you full screen it?
I can't.
So people can see it. On
He
the
was
Facebook?
he was an
Oh,
OG.
it's like
He was an OG in Blizzard as well. He now
Yeah, it's
works.
fine.
He's now working on Riot's MMO.
Oh shit.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect.
Now, the question is do you think these people knew about Bill Cosby's secret to everyone back then when they took this?
No, probably not. I mean, like they were definitely alluding to the fact
No,
that
but
he
like
is-
apparently I know this from being a huge Joe Rogan podcast fan is that like apparently it was a secret to everybody how much if you were close or knew a lot about Bill Cosby, he was a piece of shit weirdo who would like have his bodyguard tuck him in the bed. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
It's kind of hot.
Yeah, and
Kinda
yeah.
hot. Suck me in the
And
butt,
also,
please.
and he would also, what was it, Quaaludes? He also had stand up about Quaaludes, and guess what? He ended up going to jail for Quaaluding women and supposedly raping them. Well, I guess he's in jail. I guess he did.
Okay,
rape
but here's the thing, man. Like, okay, assuming this is whenever his secret's around, right? Nobody knows. Why the fuck would they have a random Bill Cosby poster
Exactly,
in there?
Yeah.
and it's kind of like the whole
They knew.
Epstein thing. Yeah, the camera went down, guard sleeping, died.
Yeah.
So back to the original topic. I hate to drag us out of the Bill Cosby fucking conspiracy world.
Well,
But not conspiracy, I guess it's like fucking, that whole conversation. People releasing half-baked games. So for me, it's been very frustrating. Because there be games like Valheim, right? Where I've been waiting for that game to be fucking. It is one of the best like indie developed games I have played. I think in my life. Like it is crazy good.
I think you like the co-op survival games.
It is.
I
love
think you
cooperative games. I love that sense of adventure, randomly generated maps. Like it is really, really good. But it has been in development for the 2 years, 2.5 years, whenever it's released, it's been quote unquote in development. And then you have other games like No Man's Sky that they release a half-baked game.
Oh,
I
you
get
son of a bitch.
I wanted to bring this
Here we
up
go.
because
go.
I know that
right,
you
so-
are. Hold on, let me finish. I'm gonna let you start, but let me finish. I know that No Man's Sky they overpromised. And I watched the whole thing. I think it was like from Incognito, not Internet Historian. I watched the whole thing of that one media guy kind of overhyping their product.
Yeah.
Whatever, I get it. But at the same time, it's like, how can they be rewarded for producing a game that's half baked and fixing it later? I think that creates an air of like, okay, we just released half finished games. If people like it, then we finish it. But like, all the games end up not being finished. And that's really frustrating for me as a gamer because I want to play like games like The Forest 2, but like the release of that game, basically it's an alpha state. It basically is the release of the game, right? And then like they finish it later, whatever else. And I think that is a huge red flag for gaming moving forward. What do you think about that?
Well, yeah, it's funny. I bought The Forest too, but I haven't played it yet because I'm waiting for the actual game to be released because I support it. It was like any game that's that good and still took the time to make it VR, like No Man's Sky. It was first. Well, I also came in like same thing I was trying to get on Total War is like I came in with a rosy like tinted glass. I knew nothing about Total War. I'm sorry, No Man's Sky coming in when I bought it, so I didn't know about all the lies. They did lie. They did under promise. And they're pieces of shit for doing that. But the thing is, though, there are how many games out there that have done that and they should be rejected and never bought from again. But what makes No Man's Sky special is that they actually eventually, after 2 years, not costing you a dime, they actually did bring that content in, and now it's there. Now, so to me, most companies don't do that. They just close down their company. It's gone. The game shut down. You don't get what you pay for. To me, No Man's Sky has redeemed itself because I played it. I've had tons of fun with it. I put I think over 100 hours into it, and as long as you actually do what you promised in the end, to me, that's redeemable. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and what would you say? Just you can never fix what you've fucked up. I'm gonna give someone a chance to redeem themselves. And at least the No Man's Sky. There was another game I'm trying to think of that did that actually came back and actually released what they promised. But there's not many of them, and No Man's Sky did it. At least that's my defense for No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky is a great game now. I do have the VR. They added VR functionality to it. It's like a legitimate multiplayer game now. I think that they have done a lot to make that game, like, it's moddable and everything. They've done a lot to make that game like a good game, and I would physically play it. But me personally, I think setting an example for other game developers to do what they did and not get punished is bad. It's bad for because, like, in like 2005, if I bought Gears of War, I would expect that motherfucker to be completely done. Yep. To be completely done. You know, whatever I saw in trailers, that was like the game. Like, you got what you paid for, and I think that even though they're fixing the mistakes later, I think that sets a bad example for other developers that they can just release half-baked games. Unless they're an indie developer. That's different, right? Because they're just trying to, like, get their product out to get more funding. But I'm talking about these AAA developers, like the Cyberpunks of the world, right? Where they release their game. Sure, they fix it later, but, like, they're a AAA studio. They should be expected to release a polished product that, like, you know, that they couldn't get away with back in, 1999 if they release it and just say, oh, it's fucked up or you can't do anything about it, you know?
Well, there's two things I have to disagree with there is I don't think people are looking at whatever I don't think No Man's Sky is a AAA company. I don't know who created it, but I don't think that they were somebody that people are looking to as an example leading the industry. And there was plenty of other people who I think were out there doing that and actually, like, what was it? Anthem? Where's Anthem?
Oh, God.
Where's Anthem? And guess what? People wasted their money and it's gone and they have nothing for it. No Man's Sky, at least people have it. And at least No Man's Sky had VR coming out, which was, if you're not playing No Man's Sky with VR when it first came out, you did waste your money. If you bought it on console and you didn't have, I think some I think what PlayStation had VR.
They like took it off the stores. They took it off the PS Store.
It's one of the best VR games out there, next to what I think the Force, at least that I played so far. Who knows what's out now? But what was the other point? I can't remember the other point.
It's just like setting a bad precedent for other game developers.
Yeah. I don't agree with that at all because I don't think everybody's looking at I think actually No Man's Sky is an example of what you bring out what you promised without costing me a dime.
Why wouldn't you? Because you look at, like, the Blizzard thing. They release Overwatch 2. They say we're gonna throw all these features in here.
What would you rather
here
have?
Come the features, right? And then, like, I get you don't pay for Overwatch 2, but you're still getting people to go in to buy your battle passes, to buy your loot boxes, and all that other stuff. And they don't get punished for over promising, and I don't understand how this is something that people continually buy into. I cannot support games like that. And Halo, I love Halo. I love that universe. But they say we're never gonna get rid of co-op again. And then here we go. They release these games like Infinite and no co-op. I get it's free, but that's not what it's not free. They're making fucking money off of it, and they shouldn't be rewarded in my opinion.
Let me be clear. If whatever I don't know the company or the team that makes No Man's Sky, if they let's say they come out and be like, hey, this is gonna be No Man's Sky 2, and they do the same exact thing, I'm getting a refund. I'm not saying it's okay what they did. What they did was wrong, and it's fucked up. And like I said, I came into it with rosy glasses, but I'm just happy that I was fortunate enough to watch and see them actually redeem themselves. To me, they're redeemed in my eyes. They may not be in yours, but they're redeemed in my eyes. And there was another game that I can't bring up because I just can't remember right now, but there's very few games that actually redeem themselves. Most games waste your money. You're gone. You've been scammed. Goodbye. No different than any crypto scam. And Anthem was one of them. I think early Battlefront was kind of that, even though that was actually an amazing game and actually had a lot of potential.
I enjoyed Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
I mean, I got it for free because Epic said, "Here, have this."
And believe it or not,
believe
it or not, the outrage actually saved Battlefront 2. The outrage actually saved it, and I wish that they would create.
They got rid of like the like you couldn't like play Darth Vader or whatever else unless you spent money, right? I think that
or grinded for fucking 2.5 years.
Yeah, it was like some ridiculous amount of time you had to spend to be Darth Vader. So just literally a pay-to-win game, right? Like, yeah, I totally disagree with that. And that gets into the whole thing of like loot boxes. Everything has to have these like little paid like it has to be monetized in some way. I get they got to make their money, but like loot boxes, are they ethical, right? Like it's basically gambling, right? Like,
oh yeah.
I think that's going to be a whole other topic to open up, and we have about 20 seconds left on this, and we have a couple chats to reply to.
Well,
I'm surprised. So, like, every single time you tell me we got time left, I'm like, oh, we're way over. I'm like, we're way over. I'm like, I'm
but I'm loving our conversations. I think we have some good stuff that we want to talk about. Hopefully everybody else is enjoying this. But yeah, let's see what other chats we got going on.
So a couple things. We read Katie's comment, and he answered us about what Hyenas was. Locus points out that we're living in an age where modders can make better games for free.
Mm-hmm.
For example, people are still modding Shogun 2 and even Rome 1.
Even trailers too.
Yeah. On the modding topic, you can say what you're gonna say real quick.
Yeah, I was just gonna say they made an Elder Scrolls mod for Medieval 2. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You literally play as the Elder Scrolls factions, Imperials, Nords, whatever, and it's in Medieval 2. And it's like, bro, I'd rather play that than Warhammer. I care more about that than Warhammer.
I think that always does good for modders. I don't think developers are ever going to make a game this is better than whatever modders can do. I think giving modders the ability to have a shell to work with is good for gaming culture to let them do it, right? So like,
look at Skyrim.
Yeah,
it's a mid game.
Skyrim, yeah, exactly.
That took off.
Like, if you're not playing Skyrim modded, you're not playing the game correctly at this point, right?
Yeah,
like,
how long's it been? Almost how many years?
2011 came out.
And then you look at like you look at like the original Warcraft games. Like League of Legends spawned from what modders did to that game, and like Minecraft's probably unplayable without mods, right? Like, so like I think creating a good foundation for mods is fine for.
Oh yeah, we let that one sneak through on Blizzard. Warcraft Reforged. we're not done with you, Blizzard.
That's a burnt
game. What happened to that? I was looking for the next new League of Legends out of that.
Well, we found out right here. DLC money printer go burn.
Yeah, we haven't even
touched. How do you monetize Warcraft Reforged?
Like what do you like make money off of it?
How do you monetize it? How do you put loot boxes in
Why do you have to?
You don't. That's the problem.
You just sell the game.
Why do you have to?
Oh,
why
did you
there
see
always
what they
have to
tried to do? They were like they charged you for the mods you made out of the game. Like
yes.
they were like, if the next League of Legends comes, we're getting a slice of that pie.
Yeah, they added into that. So what you're referring to is they added an EULA, is if you make a mod in their game and it takes off, they own part of that IP.
It disincentivizes people to, like, imagine if fucking, like...
No, that right there just shows you the mentality
just have them
of
buy
the
it
company.
Off you. Just have it, have the buy, like, that's what Magic did, right, for, like, EDH. Like, they were like, oh, you made this cool game, we're going to buy this concept off of you. Like, that's...
No, they're not going to buy it, they own it.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's fucked up. It disincentivizes creativity in the space. Like, you should be happy that, like, your game inspired, different variants to come from your game, and people should play your game more because of it, right?
Well, most likely nothing would have came up, but that just shows the mentality of the corporations coming in. It's all about greed and short-term gains, and not focusing on whatever the product is, focusing on delivering a good experience. It's what you're not playing for the long game. You're playing for the short game, and so you sell yourself short and you fail in the end. That's what happens if you don't plan for the late. It's just like anything in life. If you don't plan for the late game, you're gonna fail. Mm-hmm. What it is, you're gonna sit here and just instant gratification. You're gonna fail. We all fail.
A lot of games
that's
have
like a 10,000 foot
flash in the pan mentality, but let's get on to the next topic because I know that we are.
Next shot. I don't think I'm gonna be able to handle this one. All
right,
here we go.
Oh my gosh, we already touched on this one. This is perfect. Go ahead, take your shot. Cheers. He's just going at it, dude. He said, "Give me that." What does it taste like? Apple. Like Apple Jacks, like the old commercials.
Cinnamon.
That was the better character too.
Yeah, you know what? We actually need some cinnamon. You know what? You should we do Fireball so it's like Hot Ones?
I guess we could.
We really want to rip off that format even more.
I thought I was gonna use the fireball, to be completely honest. I was, because it was like we have this Halloween decoration stuff going on. But we were trapping out in Pittsburgh, me and my buddy Chance, so we couldn't use the fireball.
Okay. Well.
All right. So
I guess we do have more. Sorry, guys.
Next question is trend chasing in video games. Why?
Wait a second. Trend chasing.
Companies trend chasing.
Oh yeah. We already talked about that. Yeah.
Well, we didn't really talk about like the battle royale aspects of games. In the sense of like, what games, what is like the trend right now? I guess we should get into.
That actually is an excellent question, because like,
what is the trend right now?
Because battle royale.
Chat, throw that out. What are some trends?
I don't know, but yeah, battle royales are kind of been dead for the past. Well, or dying. Yeah. No, they're still huge. They're still breaking in millions.
Fortnite is definitely tapered off.
They're tapering off. So I don't know. I think we're all kind of waiting for that next big game. But
I mean, like we're kind of like we're up there in age, right? Like, so like kids are playing completely different games than what we play now. To be completely honest with you,
Roblox, like you mentioned,
they're playing. I've never played Roblox. I don't know how that works, but apparently, like Roblox is like a multi-billion-dollar like gaming franchise. Oh, yeah. I have a friend from college that got invited to a Roblox developer conference for developing a train-based Roblox like map. And he went like on a yacht. He got like a fancy feast. They had like presenters and everything. They were like,
what?
Yeah, this is like a legit, like they have like buku fucking dollars to like fucking throw at their developers to say, hey, we want to keep you guys here. We want to see what the next phase of this game looks like, because it's not just like you go in and you make stupid. Like Roblox is like a foundation to create any kind of game that you could possibly want. And there's this whole controversy about like child labor and stuff like that, because there are kids that are very talented that get basically fucking enlisted into these like child labor aspects of like Roblox. You know, but I mean, back to the core of the question is like, what is that next? You know, that
I couldn't tell you, but I tell you what, companies only aiming for profit and milking people for their money. I think actually Total War was actually growing its user base slowly. I thought Total War was going to be. I don't think it was going to be the next battle royale, but I think it was going to be close. Like if they would have kept innovating on their game and kept adding things, I think Total War would have been blow up to be like. I think it would have almost entered the mainstream or got close to it.
Isn't that interesting? Total War is kind of like the only game that is anything like it. Yes. Right? Like
exactly. But it was growing. It was slowly growing. And I was like, I can't wait to see.
Roblox is also trying to be Tinder. Yeah, for pedophiles.
What? You have to explain on that one.
Wait, can you expound on that?
Maybe for pedophiles. Maybe.
Roblox is trying to be Tinder.
For the pedos.
I think leading to both your points, though, like what Katie's saying right here, is live service, but instead of updating and developing, it's just dropping battle passes and skins. I think that's the bad example of it. I think what the real trend right now in gaming is games as a platform. Games are a platform to sell your battle pass. Games are a platform to sell your seasonal content.
It's not even about the game then. It's about like, you know, like how can we get people to click on this thing that makes us money.
Don't forget, it's manipulation. These people have put millions of dollars to know what ticks your little dopamine, the bright colors, the bright noises, it pops.
They have the fucking gambling facility in Vegas. It's a free casino that you go to that is specifically funded by governments and game companies to find out what makes people tick.
Yes, I've actually heard about that. Yeah,
I didn't know about that.
I think I think Bellior talked about it. So I think I remember. It's wild, but yeah. No, these people, they put in money. When you're walking into the store, it's almost like they're borderlining manipulation. You can't say it's manipulation, but they know just where to get to that line where they're putting the s'mores in the front aisle. They know what they're doing. They put in the millions of dollars of research to know. And like the people who have short impulse control, trust me, I know it. I live with one.
Like again, if she's watching this, you're fucked.
Hey, listen, she knows, but it is what it is. People are built different. It is what it is. I'm there as the hard counter. I'm the Rock. Trust me, I'm the hard stance against. I'm very Scrooge with my money. I'm very like, and I've saving a lot of money, but like, one, you don't need two. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean, like that, or they're putting the s'mores just like the battle pass. They know what they're doing. They're putting all the ingredients right next to each other, so you buy it. and you don't want that. You want to go to the vegetable aisle. It's like, notice how everything inside the grocery store, everything in the middle is garbage. Everything on the outside is what you need. The meats, the vegetables, the dairy, some dairy.
People are more likely to circle the outside, right, than like to go down some random island, right?
No. They're going to walk down that main aisle and get all the garbage, the s'mores,
Oh,
the cereal, the stuff that's out in display, the cupcakes, the cookies.
I don't know if it's all that. I think it would be really interesting to talk to somebody about this who is in inventory and floor planning for that. Because another aspect of it too that I know from working in the Walmart ecosphere is that your perishables are where you lose the most on grocery. And so your perishables are typically on the outside where they're more visible to people. So as they're coming in and out of the aisles, you're seeing those perishables a lot more frequently.
Well, it's kind of 50-50.
So it increases the odds that they
buy that, and you don't take a loss on a piece of meat.
Yeah, because I know there's like.
But they're also the cheapest. They're also the cheapest though. You have to remember that like celery is like $1. You know what I mean?
Well,
like
your margin
lettuce.
on those is terrible. So whatever you can do to improve your margins is also huge.
Yeah, and like that whole aisle that you go down is all that's not perishables. Like I would say it's almost like it's a little bit less than 50-50, but that whole aisle on the left side, that's all garbage. That's all stuff you should not be eating.
Yeah.
And it's just terrible for it.
But they are trying to make a dating app. Sorry, Roblox is trying to make a dating app for 17 and older players.
We're kind of getting off on the weird stuff.
We're just gonna touch on that.
Trend chasing them.
Yeah. The other thing, live service and battle passes. So in relation to battle passes, like every single like modern game that I played that's like a multiplayer based game has some form of battle pass. Do you think that there's a way to like get away from that and then still make money?
I don't think you need a battle pass, and you can beat it free to play. Like League of Legends is a huge example of that. Just sell good skins.
Yeah. Just
sell good skins. Like if I'm playing World of Warcraft and I wanna and I've had so much time and stuff invested in it, even as me as a Scrooge McDuck, I've even put in a couple $100. Maybe $2, maybe $1,000. I'm pretty sure I've been gifted more.
A couple $100.
I'm pretty sure I've been gifted
maybe
more.
Maybe $1,000 or $2.
No,
maybe $1 million. Who knows?
No, definitely not.
Bro.
I think I've been gifted more skins than I've actually spent money on from friends and.
Dude, I'm sorry. You're about to throw hands with Tim earlier about No Man's Sky. I'm about to throw hands with you on this topic. You know how we used to get cool skins? You play the fucking game.
Exactly.
You get the cool armor,
and
then you have the cool shit.
Because you there's some trial to like you getting the skin. It's just like, oh, he has the skin. That means that he did this really rigorous task.
My pushback to this is you cannot deny the power of free to play to bring people into the game and then to keep them there. Cannot deny like free to play is too big and people want to go in most companies. I think that they recognize that like free to play gets people in your game.
Do you think that that's a bad thing then?
No, well, it's a bad thing for the majority, yes, because they just get you with microtransactions, they get you with loot boxes, they get you with gambling. Basically, is what it is. They manipulate you. Oh, you can't play this game on mobile until you pay, and guess what? That's where it's all going. You know how much money what was it, PUBG on mobile made in just one quarter, or Fortnite? They make millions to billions. It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't even touched on mobile gaming. It's like no matter how much we push back against it, we're losing.
There's no way to be
buying it.
I mean, that's why like Blizzard created like their Diablo thing. They're like, yeah, we're releasing Diablo on mobile, and they were like so confident because they knew they're gonna fucking make money off of it, right? Like it was like, yeah, here it is. Like it's guaranteed to make you money because it's so easy to add. Everybody's on their phone. You know, like in the future, I mean, like these phones can already play like CS:GO, or not CS:GO. I don't know if it can play CS:GO. But I know you can play PUBG and shit like that.
I
on
know
your phone.
you're shocked. Exactly, that's just PUBG.
Yeah,
that's not your Clash of Clans.
Yeah, here it is. PUBG you can play on mobile. There's ways to play it on mobile.
270 million. That's just one mobile game.
A month. That's how much.
No, that's a quarter. That's a quarter. That's every 3 months, right?
It says a month.
Oh,
right
a
there.
month. Oh, I thought
a quarter would be.
And this is
3 months.
This is in March 2020 too. But that's probably gonna be an inflated.
It's probably less now. It's probably less.
It is less, but it's probably gonna be like 70% of that is still like fucking crazy.
What's Candy Crush? What's Clash of Clans?
Yeah.
It's insane. This is
I mean,
why.
like ease of access, right, is gonna be what.
Can you blame the corporations? This is what they're making, and people are just sitting on. I don't know. People are just spending money on this. I don't know why.
I know it's nobody in my circles, right?
I mean, like you also got to think like who's falling
I know.
for this?
I know.
Who's falling?
It's my brother. It's my mother. I know. It's as gaming is the largest entertainment industry in the world. It destroys movies and music bar none.
Mm-hmm.
and and the large businesses know that it's because this is becoming mainstream is why we're getting this. Corporations are just to feed off the I don't like to say normies, but
Casual.
the people,
Casual gamers.
the casual normie people. Casual is a lot more as a polite way of saying it.
Do you think we ever reach a point, like, this is not exactly on topic, but do you ever think we reach a point where like our cell phones become our main gaming device?
Possible.
Yeah, it depends on
How does that shape games, do you think?
I don't know what is it, the U curve? I don't know where that is on
Bell curve.
the bell curve. I don't know where that is, where we're at on technology. I don't know how far we have to go, but depending on where we are on that, I don't know if we've hit the bottleneck.
I think if we hit quantum computing and make it actually able to be in the palm of your hand, that's easily something that can happen.
That would be
How do you think that
would be
shapes
a hard,
gaming? Do you think that changes like do they develop games to not have joysticks anymore?
Quantum computing in the hand, that's got to be 40, 50 years out. You would think. At least I would hope it would be 40, 50 years out.
Well, fusion's also always been 5 years away for the last 50 years.
Like
too,
the whole machine, the machine looks like a chandelier that just needs that for cooling. So I'm like, I don't know how you're gonna get that in the palm of the hand.
Yeah. Well, who knows? So looking at this one, it just says Candy Crush 556 million in the year of 2021. So actually less than PUBG month to month back.
That's
in
not. I mean,
2020.
that's still a decent amount of money. For, like what do they?
For what Candy Crush is?
Yeah. So like, what do their developers do? Like on a day, like honestly, like how do you need more than fucking 50 people to like?
Dude, you don't need more than 3 people.
Yeah, like
sound, music.
Damn, Candy Crush is a dead game.
I'm thinking like.
Dead game.
I'm thinking like marketing and everything like that.
Yeah.
But like developing the game itself, yeah,
This
you
is
probably
so
need to have more than half
2015.
dozen people. Yeah, I mean like like my phone will get random updates and be like, here's fucking
Dude, that
Mojang,
shit
and I'd
pisses
be
me
like,
off.
I don't fucking what
Get
am I?
that shit off my phone. Like what the fuck?
Like how does Mojang monetize their game? How do you think this
Mojang's out. He was too conservative for
No,
Minecraft.
not that Mojang.
Mojang's out. He sold the company. He's out. He's gone.
do you think they sell Mojang skins or something?
I don't even know what Mojang looks like. I don't even know who he looks.
It's a game. It's a tile matching. How do you not know what Mojang is?
Wait, no. I thought we're talking about the guy who.
No,
created
I
Minecraft.
thought you were joking when you said that.
No,
Oh,
no.
No, we're talking about Mahjong. Mahjong's like the Chinese game we were matching.
Yeah, it's
on.
a tile matching.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, you think I got Minecraft on my phone? Come on, man. They wouldn't fucking force it. Well, hopefully they never force fucking install. Actually, I'd be okay with playing Minecraft.
Microsoft would do that 100%
Yeah, I'd be
on a
okay
Windows
with playing
phone
Minecraft
if
on
those
the
were still a
phone.
thing.
Yeah, could you
Your
imagine?
Windows phone now comes with Game Pass. Enjoy Minecraft. Oh, you want to get to your texting app? Oh, that's physically in Minecraft. You got to walk over to your texting
Yeah,
pad.
you have to block out your fucking text. Could you fucking imagine, dude?
All right. The timer either never got turned on or it's done.
Dude, I don't fucking. Let's just get the fucking. Let's just do the next
Let's just
topic.
have fun.
We're already behind.
Wait a second.
anyway,
I
so-
actually forgot. What was the question?
I don't know either.
Trend chasing in video games,
Yeah.
which actually we touched on again.
We're still on topic, I think. I think
Yeah.
we're fine.
I think we actually. Yeah. I got a little off on the weeds there.
Is there anything else you guys want to say about video games? Because we're about to take a hard turn out of video games.
Yeah, is there
Oh
anything else?
shit! Here comes the crypto gang.
I'm
about to get jumped.
not yet. Well, actually, maybe.
It is.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
So, anything else you wanted to? Any final comments? I mean, like, we could talk about this topic again in the future when we have you back on, Dom. But is there anything else you wanted to talk about in relation, more particularly to the Blizzard aspect of things that they did just recently get acquired? Is there anything that you wanted to talk about with that aspect of the game?
I'm skeptical. I'm mad about it because Microsoft. I'm slightly skeptical, but mostly mad. We'll see what happens. We'll see what they do. Only time will tell what Microsoft would do. With Game Pass, that was a huge victory, and I hope those victories keep coming for us because Game Pass is huge for.
It is a really good deal.
Dude, I love it. I love it. But even though I only play Dark Tide on it, I love it.
It's the direction I think that they needed to go with their like Xbox Live service, because like just buying for online is just like so.
Especially.
What is this, Nintendo? Come on.
Especially for people. You know what? It's actually crazy. That the shots actually just wear off almost as the timer's about to go down. I can actually feel it. Actually, maybe a little bit longer would be better. But going back to the topic of is especially for people who what would you say, casuals, polite way of saying it. Game Pass is is a no-brainer, especially to bring in those people to be able to download whatever game you want and try out different games and stuff like
Could
that.
you imagine the influx of players on World of Warcraft that they Game Pass those
Oh,
people
yeah.
in? Like, that'd be
Oh,
crazy.
yeah.
On console and stuff.
I'd be
too?
there.
That'd be crazy.
I'd be there. Yeah, I'm already there
And
right
not
now.
even just like World of Warcraft, just like stuff like Hearthstone, like where it's like actually free
And
barrier of entry.
And the ability to play on PC, I love it. I can now have access to all that from the PC. I love it. Give me more. Give me more.
I mean, I think it's a turn that the company needed to take. I think that Microsoft is the only people that at this point can make that company do, because like nothing again. So like I guess I should preface or like post face this. The people who work at Blizzard are just like normal people that want to work at their dream job, which is what I would enjoy doing if I was, maybe 5 years older or whatever else. So it's nothing against them. It's strictly the people who want to monetize as much as they can.
It's the leadership
out of the company. I think that the people that are working at Blizzard genuinely want to make a fun game, but at the end of the day, their marketing team is saying, "Hey, we need to make this much money from it in order to substantiate to our investors that we can keep this as a
invest in your company. Do not extract from your company. Quite simple. And then guess what? If you build it, they will come. Elden Ring, Baldur's Gate proved it.
I wanted to talk about this really quickly. I know we're getting ready to go into the next topic. Yeah. I would love to play a World of Warcraft game that had the vibe of Elden Ring, of just like that sense of like difficulty and discovery and everything like that. Like, I would love to play a World of Warcraft game, multiplayer I would like to play a World of Warcraft like themed Elden Ring where the maps are randomly generated, the bosses are randomly generated. I would love to have that infinite sense of adventure.
10, 15 years, AI, it's coming.
It's
coming.
not.
Golden Age is coming.
It's not about, because like in Elden Ring they do a really good thing. I hate Dark Souls. I fucking hate that game. But Elden Ring is that bridge for me as a gamer where I feel like at any point in the game it's difficult. Regardless of how much gear you have, it is a difficult game no matter where you are. And I think that sense of like constantly having to like overcome an obstacle with friends would be so much fun.
Oh no, I agree. I want that now. I want multiplayer Elden Ring, absolutely. Open world, explore, adventure with your friends. But on defense of all Dark Souls players, get good.
I was just gonna say, Tim, I've got a game for you called Candy Crush you'll love.
Oh,
you ignore me.
Oh, by the way, don't play that dead game. Maybe Clash of Clans is better. Look up those stats.
It's Clash Royale now. It's Clash Royale.
Yeah, Clash Royale.
Oh, my bad.
Easier to monetize.
Or maybe, I don't know.
Wait. No, what was that game that everybody was advertising for? The AFK
Raid.
Arena? AFK Arena.
AFK
Arena. Is that a dead game now? It's
don't play
been
mobile.
years,
now it's
probably
Honkai
dead.
Star Rail.
I play Magic the Gathering.
Oh, that's right. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
What is it?
Honkai Star Rail. Get your waifus, dude. Instead of opening loot boxes, you're opening up waifus.
Man, they really got this down to a science now.
Sex and loot boxes. Who would have thought?
Sex
in a box.
Baby.
Oh my gosh. All right. I think we're up for a shot.
All right. What's our next topic?
2 more. Oh, I gotta make it through this.
You're doing good, man. You're doing good.
I was rambling on a little bit sometimes.
Dude, we got you perfect right now.
I know.
This is the one that you needed to be most sober for that we waited till now to bring up.
Oh, what you think? You thought.
Okay. What is the reason to continue investing, or what are the reasons to continue investing into crypto/NFTs, despite the number of rug pulling and Ponzi schemes that have gone on?
Okay.
Again, we're not talking 10, 15 years down the road once all this is stabilized. What is the reason right now to still even be involved in this world?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the question is weird. So I can't include like, why invest? The whole point of investing is for the future. So like, how can I even answer that question? I'm investing for the future. And scams, you're only hearing about the worst cases of crypto. You're only hearing about the worst from YouTube or your news. No one's hearing about the innovations that are being made.
What are those innovations?
Where did we begin? Well, first off, well, Bitcoin is here. That is the innovation. Ethereum is here. That is the innovation. Like it the whole purpose of it was to create a money that is not inflationary. It's not getting printed by the Fed. That's the whole point. Like look around at the prices right now.
It's still being printed though. Because you have miners, right, who are creating new blockchains.
Yes, but
for their currency.
they will eventually run out.
Yeah, they eventually find everything.
But now that is an issue in itself. Is hyper deflation an issue? That I could not answer you. I'm not that deep. I'm trying to learn. Like I realize
it's complicated.
I'm gonna try to do my best to defend crypto as best I can. But I've just now started diving deep. I was in the charts and just learning about price go up, price go down recently. But I'm actually just now this past year been diving deep into crypto. Been trying to learn about it, how it works. Because in the end, it's just code. It's just code, it's software. But that's the same thing as video games or Facebook or social media. But what does the code of value bring? Like obviously social media is connecting everybody and everything together and stuff like that. So when you say like, why do I want to invest in it now? It is because the future. It's because there actually is use cases for it now. Like right now, if you wanted to, you can start up a business that you don't have to go through to get it. You don't have to make it public. You don't have to sell to another company. But that's where the downside comes in. It kind of has its push and pull. You can you can start up your own company. Yeah, it might be a scam, which you got to do your own due diligence. You gotta research. If you're just in crypto just to gain money, you're gonna get scammed. You're gonna you have to actually know what you're investing in, who created it, why, what's it do?
I don't want to try and cut you off here, but that's the biggest issue I think I have with crypto, and why I think it's not working as intended. So I would love the idea of having that form of currency that isn't moderated by some kind of arbiter or government or whatever else. But people aren't using crypto as it's intended. Crypto is supposed to be a way to exchange goods, but people don't use it as a way to exchange goods. They use it as a way to invest. So at what point do we cross that threshold of it having that transactional value as opposed to investing value?
What do you mean by goods?
So I can't go to McDonald's and say, here's my Bitcoin. I want a burger. I have to translate that Bitcoin into USD to buy that burger.
Well, it depends on where you're at, because in Venezuela you can. You can use Bitcoin
That's huge for Venezuela.
I didn't know that.
I never even thought about that.
Now,
for people who don't know, Venezuela's currency is hyper inflated or deflated.
No.
I've heard about the whole sponsors.
Well, let me respond. By the way, the whole purpose of Bitcoin, I guess Bitcoin I can say, or at least is cryptocurrency, is to be a currency. And right now, it's not, because it's very early. You gotta realize how early we still are in this stage. I think only 2 or 3% of people even own crypto in America.
So
and
I've heard that's that's a copium stance is what I've heard. Do you agree with that?
We'll explain.
That's something that people parrot to their investors or people who are also on the same token or whatever you want to call it, as we're still early, is what I've heard before as being a stance to kind of give people a sense of encouragement, I guess. Do you believe in that, or
I actually do want it to be a stance of encouragement, because Bitcoin's has been almost around for 15 years, or at least was proposed for 15 years. It's been through how many recessions, and it's still here.
Mm-hmm.
How many? It's outperformed the S&P 500 multiple times. Look that up. And it's where is it going? It's not gone. How many times have people called Bitcoin a scam? Dead. And it's still here.
Mm.
And it's doing what it's intended. I can't remember if it was Venezuela or Guatemala, but it's not as useful here because our money, because US dollar is the most sound money. Good luck spending, take any foreign currency. Good luck spending it here, Tim. What's the difference between
even right across the border?
Cryptocurrency?
Yeah, Mexican pesos or Canadian dollars.
By the way, but people in Venezuela who have hyperinflation, guess what? Because most people are too scared of it, which they should be. This is a new technology. This is something it's complicated, and people are scared and skeptical for a reason. They have a good reason to be skeptical. But guess what? People who were in Venezuela, some people have saved their money and the value of their currency in Venezuela because they switched to Bitcoin while their money crashed.
I agree with you. I think this is great for developing countries. I guess the question I'm asking is, at what point do we start using Bitcoin as an alternative to our own currency?
Probably very soon. Right now, BlackRock, Fidelity. It's funny because do you guys know what BlackRock is, or should I explain BlackRock?
I know what BlackRock is.
The orcs in the mountain that you raid on WoW.
Might as well be similar. It is the big baddie. It is the big baddie.
So, I mean, for people who don't know, I guess I'll give my explanation. You can kind of go into it more.
Yeah.
BlackRock kind of owns everything in America.
At least a third of the world.
Yeah, which is basically, they own all of the modern banks. They own like pretty much every single news agency. They legitimately like own the world. They are the people that the government goes to whenever we need a bailout. They go to BlackRock to ask them for money to basically keep the world functioning. That is how powerful.
There's a red dot laser on the side of your head right now.
Yeah.
There's a window over there.
but companies like BlackRock and Tencent, which is like I guess the Chinese equivalent, are the ones who basically run this planet, which is crazy. Well, and you would never like most people. They know who Elon Musk is. They know who Mark Zuckerberg is. I challenge you to tell me who the president or the CEO of BlackRock is. You will not know his fucking name.
No. Oh, exactly. You won't know it. You won't know it offhand because he's too damn smart. But but no, I think it's like $9 trillion they own in like worth of assets and money and stuff like that around the world, and they own a lot of businesses. They are the father of fathers of fathers of companies. You know what I mean? And there's more of them. Like no, but it's funny because in the middle of this recession, whatever, bear market, whatever you want to call it, is guess who filed for a spot Bitcoin ETF, which is an exchange traded fund, which spot means you can buy it at the current price as it is. So it's essentially the main like as if you would buy anything on the stock market, except for you're buying like a bundle of them. I think that's what fund means. I'm sorry, I'm doing my best on the side of crypto here, but so basically the stock market, they are trying to get approved by the Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, to be allowed to put Bitcoin. So you're talking about the largest. If there ever was an Illuminati, BlackRock's it.
Yeah, seriously though.
If the conspiracy theorists were right, that's where you look, somewhere in there. And they also, I believe the leader is also part of, what was that group with Charles Schwab, the World Economic Forum, the people who said you will own nothing and be happy and eat like cricket protein and stuff like that. These people who are like, who think that they're the smartest people in the goddamn world and know how to build smart cities that you can't leave. You can look that up too. They were talking about building smart cities where you're not allowed to leave unless authorized to. Wacky shit. You just like, excuse me?
Sound like some meta shit.
But like, no. You have look up the World Economic Forum. Charles Schwab, I think his name, is one of the guys who leads the thing.
I'm interested to see this.
Yes, but and so like you're talking about BlackRock, who's connected to that, or at least he's partaken in that meeting. These people who, like, you've never heard of this World Economic Forum. These people who are getting together, they haven't been elected. They haven't been chosen by anybody, and they create their own council calling themselves the World Economic Forum. How much of an ego do you have to call yourself the World Economic Forum?
The World, yeah.
And then there's also, I believe, somebody called the Fat F. It's called F. Wait, Fat F. Yeah, I think it's called the Fat F. I think it's Financial Action Task Force. And these people recommend to countries, and a lot of lower end countries like listen to them on what they should regulate and do with crypto. And it's like, who are you? Who elected you? Who are you? What are you doing? What are you doing? It's like, no one's heard of you. It's like you're kind of like in the shadows. But like we're getting way off topic on
I don't think we are. I mean, I guess we are off the topic of crypto, but I think it all ties into it. I mean, like
it does.
They run the economy of the world, so like,
and these
them
people are all
adopting
connected.
crypto
They're all connected to BlackRock.
So wait, so how are they tied in with crypto?
Because crypto financially runs the world, right?
Well, first off, you have the
crypto.
largest asset manager in the world who's probably more powerful than the United States when it comes to money and influence. You got to think about it. You own all these companies. Your word means something. Your choices mean something. What you say, these people, They have to listen to you. You basically own them. It's a sad way to say it, but you own it. But these guys are applying for a spot Bitcoin ETF. They are trying to be able to have the ability to sell
that would
people.
Be interesting. Do you think that the owners of like Tencent, BlackRock, all these people, do you think that they invested into crypto?
They're trying to. They're trying to be able to sell, to allow their people who I guess like Fidelity. I know. I don't know about BlackRock, but I know Fidelity is they sell and exchange stocks and stuff like that. And they filed right after them. These people who are not dumb, they are smart, they are really intelligent, no matter if they're intentionally evil or just accidentally evil or doing self-interested greed or whatever it is, whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to go down that conspiracy theory road because I don't have proof of that. But whatever these people are, they're applying for it. They're going for it. They know something's there. But that's just one defense on it. That, like, we can go into many other. If these people are trying to get into it, what does that tell you? But the problem is what people are scared of is because Bitcoin is based off of a proof of work concept. So that means you need computers, servers to get the chain to work and process. If they can get all that money in there and stuff like that, they might be able to control Bitcoin, which would then become a failed project. The whole point of Bitcoin is to not be controlled by just one entity or even just a couple handful of control. The whole point is, how many times have you heard of banks, websites getting hacked, or the ability that they have the control to change it? Do you really want to trust one person, or would you rather trust 1,000?
I mean, that does happen though. Like, I know of hospitals that have had like their medical records like held hostage by like these like anonymous organizations, and
that's just one aspect. That's just one aspect of crypto. Is I think just recently 23andMe got hacked, kind of got swept under the rug. Millions of people of DNA and information got stolen because guess what? It was centralized in one area. How do you avoid that? Decentralize the storage. Encrypt it. Encrypt the goddamn thing.
Did you ever hear of that Madison like porn site? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
It was like some kind of big deal because it was like it was not a porn site. I guess it was a dating site, I guess you could say, for people who were married. And Anonymous yes, and they would go on there and they would match and they would like, confess like their dreams and like meet with people that they were married people. It was like the whole thing. They got hacked, and basically they got like basically a ransom. It's like, we're gonna release all these files unless you pay us this X amount of money, and they refused. And everybody's information, personal like addresses, like bank information, not bank, I guess like who they were got like leaked out, and you could find out who it was like basically cheating on. It is just another interesting facet of that, of like like that's like very personal for some people. I mean, everybody has like their dark secrets, I guess you could say, but like
at least encrypt your data. It's like you don't even have to have the like, is your data encrypted? Probably not. I think majority of like stuff on the internet is not even encrypted. It's like, let alone you're gonna decentralize it. It's like,
and I guess that's the point of what I say is like that's why cryptocurrency, and especially programmable cryptocurrencies, does have value, because it adds that extra layer of encryption. That isn't just like, I can just crack this. Right?
Yeah, it's not even just encryption too. It's also the fact that it's decentralized. So your validation of whatever one you claim that you have is checked. If I'm understanding correctly, it's checked across multiple computers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well that's called the consensus.
You would have to go through an extraordinary amount of effort to crack.
Guess what? It's 10 times better than just the normal ass internet in one simple server. And like, there's multiple points to crypto. It's like it's like multiple technologies kind of putting together. You kind of have this consensus decentralization where computers are talking to each other, confirming that we all have the same list of data that makes sure no one's cheating or changing it. You also have the encryption, which anybody can really do, but it's just a matter of that it all kind of comes together is what makes cryptocurrency unique. And it's like, it makes people accountable as well, because you're only pseudo anonymous on crypto. You're not truly anonymous unless you make it anonymous.
Everything's on the blockchain.
Yeah, it's all connected. It all has the address to the previous transaction. Good luck being you're better off. You can do better crime and better hiding your transactions through just straight cash in hand than you can on crypto. It's like, how many scams have you been scammed at the fair? how many? I'm trying to get back to the original thing. How many times have you been scammed? Your grandpa's been scammed on the phone or on an email. Scams are nothing new. Scams have lasted since the dawn of time. This is something that we've been dealing with for our whole entire lives. And all of a sudden that we're focusing on crypto, yes, it has its issues. It has its problems. Absolutely, nothing's perfect. Nothing you can hack crypto. It's actually already happened. People have lost millions of dollars, but actually hacks are actually kind of semi-rare. People mostly get scammed of their money. Like FTX, they got straight up scammed. They handed their money over.
Yeah.
The whole point of crypto was to be. I'm just going to touch on this slightly. People say that I hate that SBF and FTX was connected to crypto. He sold crypto. He was not crypto. The whole point of crypto was to avoid that. Because a company is a black box. You have no rights to look in and to know besides what their earnings and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You have no idea what they're doing in there. So the whole point of crypto is to be able to see, like if he would have moved his money out of his company, in crypto, if he held it in a wallet, you would have noticed that.
Right.
You would have seen it. But as a company, you don't know what's going on in there. It's private. You don't know what they're doing. So it's there to hold you accountable. So if FTX was a decentralized exchange, which they do, they call them DEXs. If they did exist, I think Uniswap might be one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I can't be too accurate on this, and there's actually like a whole government system behind it where people who are invested in it get to vote on the changes and stuff like that. This is what crypto is about, and it's hard to do, but we'll see it. We'll see if it succeeds. This is still a project to see if it succeeds. But the whole point was to avoid that, was to not to trust a single person with your money, and who's promising you 20% gains on your money. When you see that, you should have already had a red flag.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
It's
too good to be true.
Realistic.
When I'm gonna finish it off with this and see where we're at with the timer, but. When you're investing in a company, it's all up to the company. When you're in crypto and something like that, you have control of your money. It's in your wallet. That's the point of it, is not to have somebody steal it and just, where did it go? It's gone. That's the whole point. That's the whole point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I'm all over the place.
No, I mean, I get it. I mean, like, I want to touch on that a bit because, like, if we do have you back on, we probably are going to have you back on, but, like, we probably will get into the crypto thing, kind of just, like, touch base and stuff like that, show that you know what you're talking about, and, kind of invoke like some curiosity about it.
Maybe focus on one area a little bit more and focus on that a little bit better.
We go to try and be a little bit broad in case people don't understand crypto, because a lot of people don't. Like, I'm technologically adept to a fault, but like a lot of I could only imagine the barrier to entry for people who just that only play like Xbox. Is like
I am too.
Calls, right?
Like I just now started reading. I'm just trying to learn about Cardano, and that's one blockchain. We got to realize there's a lot of blockchains out there, and they all do different things. They all do things they do some things better than the others, and probably most of them are not going to make it.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm still trying to learn on the base code on how that works, because in the end, if you don't know about the code, if you don't know how the programming works, you don't know shit about crypto, and that's the majority of people. That's the sad truth. The sad truth is the majority of people don't know shit about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because people are just there just to go to do it.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like it kind of comes back to the WoW discussion we're talking about, where the biggest thing is the barrier to entry is you load up World of Warcraft retail nowadays, and you got to have all this prior knowledge, all these add-ons, all this stuff.
You have to have add-ons, right?
And to Tim's point, you know, the only way that's gonna become a currency that we actually use on a day-to-day basis is if you don't have that barrier to entry.
Yeah, and I think the majority of people will not know. I think the masses will never know how it works or why it works the way it works, but I think they will end up being using it. There's a lot of people, I think we're starting to get into the stage of crypto where people are building apps that will kind of transfer you from Web 2 to Web 3, they call it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that like what I'm in is what they're doing is they kind of have this gaming platform to kind of bring you in, and they kind of create a wallet for you. And so like if you wanted to have your own personal wallet where you control, well, you technically do control the wallet, but it's kind of made for you, and it's kind of in the back end where you don't kind of see it, and it's kind of meant to bring people in. So they're going to kind of use blockchain, but they're not going to know that they're using it. And then if they wanted to get more involved in it, they
can see that back end aspect of it.
Yeah,
right?
it's and the truth is it is complicated, and I don't think the majority of people are going to know what it is and what it's doing to them. But when they've received the benefits of blockchain, and it's only on minor, maybe we can get into it, but it's only on the outskirts, I think, to really rich people or poor people who are getting the benefits. I think people who are kind of middle class or like America aren't really getting the benefits of it. But if you're third world or rich, you're liking crypto when you can move billions of dollars with only the cost of 63 cents. instead of waiting for the bank for how many days or what's your processing fee. You're loving it. Or if you're in Venezuela and you were smart enough to put your money in the crypto, or if you during Ukraine war, guess what? Russia, the ruble was going down. Guess what? Bitcoin went up because they were all putting their money in Bitcoin. It's like if you saved your money during that, I don't know how Ukraine's money did during the war, but there are people who there are people on the edges who are using it. It's just not us because like we own the number one currency. We're America. You know what I mean? It's like,
we're already decent. I mean, like life, like the average life of an average American, like is generally, like, at least compared to like the poverty of other areas, you know.
No, I'm sorry. If you're poor in America in a shitty area, you got it better than the majority.
Absolutely.
That may be.
You don't have to worry. I mean, like you might have to worry about somebody coming in and shoot you. Who fucking knows? But like for the most part, you do live in general comfort. Yeah. You know that you're gonna have a place to sleep.
You're being given food stamps. Some people aren't.
Yeah, like it is very hard. Like you have to pretty much choose to be homeless. Like
though it's not good though. I'm not saying food stamp system is still a good system. It's still garbage. We're still terrible. We still got a lot of things we got to work on here. But yeah.
Could you imagine like living on like I've been watching a lot of North. I will get into.
We got many more podcasts
like,
to go.
They legitimately make like $100 a month, like max, and they are in the labor camps. Like you have it good here. If you're sitting here able to watch this stream on your phone, you have nothing to complain. Sorry. Anyway, next topic.
Oh shit, we just lit up some fires.
Next is RuneScape converting over to blockchain, so Venezuela can have their.
I actually have no idea about this.
No, I'm just making it up because Lucas commented that the Venezuelan currency is RuneScape Gold. I'm serious, by the way.
I actually have no idea about this. What is this?
That is a very interesting aspect, right? Because like, at what point does that like globalization like actually genuinely affect everybody? Where like doing shit in a video game is actually profitable. That's pretty cool.
I mean, Chinese gold farmers have been doing it since WoW came out.
They use my account, but I'm not going to get into that because I'll get mad.
Actually,
for like 30 minutes.
There's actually a blockchain video game called Axie Infinity, which is kind of like a crappy Pokemon, or what was that?
Wait, what?
Yeah. It's called Axie Infinity. Like, there actually is video games that have blockchain like integrated into them, like their currency. I think one of their coins is called like Love Potion or something, some kind of potion or whatever. But people who are in third world countries are making way more money that they can make in their own country just off of the token in Axie Infinity. What was that game on like MySpace people would always play where you take care of the creature? You guys know what I'm talking about? You would take care of the creature and it would die if you didn't get on. You didn't feed it.
Neopets, but that's like
no. It is that. It's like a Pokemon Neopets kind of thing on NFT thing, and people are who are making money off that, or making a living, or whoever invested it making money off of it. Breeding Pokemon and selling their teams or renting their teams out. People are making money off that. We need to have this discussion in
Discord with him then, because we were talking about this in Discord, like how do you put crypto and like blockchain, or even just that whole encryption aspect of it into a video game. Like,
that's what it is.
Well, we'll save that topic for the next time we have you on, because I would love to talk about like cryptocurrency and like its applications into gaming and stuff like that. I would especially like to look into like cryptocurrency in the games like Magic the Gathering.
I'll give you a sneak peek.
And stuff like that.
You get to resell your skins that you wasted money on the game. Already a win. And then, except for the company, probably get like 5% back, probably like on every resale.
I mean, technically, you get that right now, but I
you
think
could do that.
I think for me, the fact is that it's a unique line of code that you own. So to me, that makes me think of something iterative. But we'll talk about it later. Like you just build stuff on top.
We'll get into that. We'll get into NFTs and all that other kind of stuff. Just remind me, and I'll put it into the topic.
This is kind of like a sneak peek into crypto.
Yeah. That'll be the hook to get you back on. So what do we have for our last topic, Dave?
All right. Thoughts on Bigfoot?
It's a fun one, right?
Yeah. Thoughts on Bigfoot. Thoughts on cryptids. You want to pull up that recent video too?
Sure.
So, I mean, I don't really know how big you are.
Tim, take the wheel.
Yeah, I don't know how big you are in like cryptids and stuff like that. I think we need at least one like Halloween related question, given it's Halloween.
Yeah.
But do you believe in like cryptids? Do you think that they could exist? You know, is it possible for they to exist? And like, in what manner would they exist? Have they ever existed? And do you believe that Bigfoot does exist or could exist? Or?
I don't know. As much as I've delved into in the past, I haven't in many years delved into
we might have to put our headsets in.
a conspiracy theory.
We're not ready yet, guys. Just keep talking.
Okay, yeah, into the conspiracy theory realm. No, I do not believe in cryptids at all. No, maybe aliens, or at least the government's hiding something, like at least like really good technology aliens. But like when it comes to cryptids, besides maybe some lore I might know, a little bit of lore. No, I don't believe. But like I know, like I think I mentioned this to you once. Like listening to a podcast, like there was a lady who took all the tales of like fairy tales and stuff like that and kind of put them all together and kind of like, well, what's similar, not what's different. Like, what is a fairy compared to a Bigfoot to a skinwalker and stuff like not what's different, but like what's the same. And like I think like one of the things, it's been so long, but they said like for some reason in the tales of all the folklore of what people tell is like they all for some reason.
I'm trying to sorry.
Oh,
I'm just trying to get it ready.
1 second, dog.
Dude, this thing is terrible.
Holy crap. All right, good. As you were saying, Dom.
No, but for some reason all the fairies, even tales of Bigfoot, when people get abducted by Bigfoot, they offer them food. And for whatever reason, when they offer you the food, I guess you don't come back, which is strange. Which is weird. Yeah, right there. Yeah.
Oh my God!
If that man offers you food, do not take it. But
do we have it on stream?
Yeah, I just
but like weird stuff like that. No, but I wish I had more to talk on this. But another interesting fact: there's a lot of steamy romantic novels about women getting abducted by Bigfoot.
Come on, man.
Oh yeah, man. Come on.
So real quick,
what's the rule? What's the rule on the internet? What is it?
Rule 34.
Rule 34? Come on, you should already know this. Everything can be sexualized.
Yeah. So let's look into the backstory of this. Like, so there's been a recent video in the past month.
Do it.
No, do not. Don't stop.
Do it. Execute orders 34.
God damn it. So let's go into that video wherever it's at.
That video, that's not it, is it? Because that was
I think it was on a train or something.
Is it really
it's that one. That's the most recent one. Yeah.
That's dumb.
But
this is a topic. This isn't even like.
But it's meant to. Well, I know you probably don't believe in it.
This is stupid.
But like let's at least look at it. Let's at least look at it. Where's the video at?
This is seriously it, Tim.
Yes. So I guess the question is,
I can't even see what that is. That looks like a rock to me right now.
I'm really gonna blow this up as big as possible.
That could be anything.
Look at the video. Let's watch the.
That looks like the wind blew the wrong
way. Let's watch the video. Let's watch it. What's going on right now?
You're fucking kidding me.
You want to look at these 18 pixels right now?
That's what it is.
No, it's a video. There's a fucking video.
I know there's a video, but the video's still gonna have 18 pixels.
Okay, well let's watch the video.
I love how the last segment is just a shit show. I love this. This is the fun part of the show.
All right, full screen this bad boy. All right, everybody.
I can't even see it. Where is it?
Enhance, Dave. Enhance.
Hit play.
Enhance, Dave.
I mean, that's the whole point.
Facebook sucks.
God damn it, Dave. Try harder.
You see me clicking on it.
Dave, try harder.
Space or something? I don't fucking know.
Bruh.
Hit escape. Play it from here. We should be able to play it from
It's an elusive creature.
An elusive creature.
Dude, how pixelated is Bigfoot?
He's actually pixelated.
Let me see your camera. I'll do it.
Bigfoot was too big.
It's an elusive creature.
So,
did he just take a shit right there? Is that why he squatted? What's happening?
So this is taken on a train in Canada, I believe. The point is, I guess I'm getting at, is at what point, like, would you say you would have indisputable evidence?
I can't tell if that's a bear. I can't tell. I don't know what that is. It's so you can't see what that is. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not buying it.
Yeah, I mean, like, is there any cryptid that you would believe in?
Well, Bigfoot's like what? Everything.
Do you think the original video for Bigfoot is faked?
I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you what that is. I'm assuming it's the one.
Can we look up the original video of Bigfoot, please? Like, is there any like cryptid, I guess, you would believe in? Like,
well, I kind of do believe in Bigfoot because, like, what was it? What wasn't there like a gigantic orangutan that was like huge that they found fossils of back in the day? So supposedly it existed once, like way back in like prehistoric ages, but not today.
We're the only continent. I'm just gonna shut up for this part. Look at this. There's a man in a gorilla suit, dude.
kissing the slightly. Hey, what's up?
So, like, if you didn't know, I know that you want to just like freeze us on a frame of him like in like full stride or whatever. If you didn't know, as far as I'm aware, there are actually state-funded facilities. I think there's like one in PA that is their function is to like look for fucking Bigfoot. The last time I checked, I don't want to fucking speak too on a limb, but people believe that Bigfoot and other Bigfootians exists.
Yeah, and some people fall in love with bridges and marry them. Okay.
But so like let's look up a Bigfoot. Let's look up a Bigfoot sighting list. Look up a Bigfoot sighting list or whatever else for me.
People crazy. Tim, people be crazy.
What evidence would you need to believe that Bigfoot actually does?
A dead body.
A dead body. A dead Bigfoot.
A
or
dead
alive.
Bigfoot.
Yeah.
A skeleton. I don't know. Like we actually have skeletons. I think in South America and Mexico, because like we actually have elongated skulls that you can actually bring out, where people were actually cone-headed and actually have different like layouts on the back of their skull of like where the veins on the back of their head. Well, like you actually have DNA evidence of that. Where's that a Bigfoot? Like you actually have like alien-headed looking human beings down in Mexico, South America. Where is the Bigfoot one? Where is the Bigfoot one?
I agree. I mean, like, I personally am indifferent to the Bigfoot thing. It is not a human. It is a realistic enough cryptid, I think, to exist. I don't believe in not necessarily. I am less likely to believe in something like Mothman, right? Where there's just like this fucking creature.
Hey, Mothman is real.
So
listen, I seen him hit my window last night.
I'm always open. If there is legitimate evidence to something existing, I'm willing to believe in it. But I have to physically there has to be compelling evidence. It can't just be like folklore, right?
I believe Bigfoot existed, but back when dinosaurs did, like when everything was huge, when the centipedes were huge, when the bugs were huge, when and
how do you know this couldn't be just like a leftover remnant of that?
It's been too long.
ancestry?
It's been too long. Who are you mating with? There has to be more than one of you. Come on, it's just like.
Can you look up that Bigfoot?
You're not that
Bigfoot
smart.
map?
You're not that smart.
Bigfoot map.
Bigfoot sighting map. I guess.
Yeah. It's all the trailer parks.
But
that looks about right.
Is there
Tim,
a heat map?
Tim, have you noticed how there's no colored urban folks in these pictures?
Did not just say colored urban folks.
Looking for Bigfoot. This map
I'm trying to be polite.
search. I don't know if this is what we want.
It's
Could
all
just
the
say
trailer
black
park.
people.
Listen. All.
I don't know if this is what we want.
There's
What
no
do you
way
mean? It shows you where they're
There's
at.
no way Bigfoot.
What is going on here? The Patterson film? What the fuck is
This
the?
is all the Bigfoots, dude. They have.
You know what?
ankle
What
weight
is the
bracelets.
Patterson film?
You know what's also interesting though, that in the conspiracy theory that kind of like area that actually like sometimes. Here's the thing about conspiracy theory, like every 1 out of 10 conspiracy theory actually has, I wouldn't say is correct, but actually has some well done research into it, and there are some creepy things you can find out, like how the majority of all missing people who have gone missing around like mountains.
Have you
stuff like
that? That is
that?
an interesting thing.
Like there's some
caves,
good statistics people
there
put
are
in.
a lot of like caves that are unexplored or undiscovered, like in America,
and like no like
which is where Bigfoot is quote unquote like expected
Yeah.
to like come out of.
There are some legitimate conspiracy
I don't know
theories.
because a lot of this is in the Great Plains area.
I mean, even that.
This
like,
map
glaciers
doesn't make
would
sense to me.
This is a map that I would.
It's from Fox News. They're credible.
Dude, like, dude, there's no way Bigfoot is surviving without shaving in Florida. There's no way, dude. It would maybe all the Florida man sightings have just been Bigfoot shaving. Maybe that's just what it's been.
Dallas
Florida
man says Bigfoot threw a rock.
Dude, no wonder they smell Bigfoot, dude. Well, no wonder they smell Bigfoot, dude. He is sweating his ass off down there. They can smell it.
He's in the swamps of Louisiana, dude. On one of those fan boats, just driving around.
Bigfoot drowned long ago. He got hit by Katrina.
Oh man! So this shaman, what the fuck? What is this? Shaman mistaken for Bigfoot. Why is there this?
I don't know why there's a map.
I guess the point is you don't believe in Bigfoot then.
No, I'm not sold on it now. Now aliens is
so,
a whole different question.
So we'll get to aliens in a second. With the original footage, you just think it was some guy in a costume, correct?
I believe the people who made the video, didn't they say that it was a scam?
I don't know, did they?
I believe that was a thing. Original Bigfoot video scam.
I feel like that would be pretty big news, right? Like that.
Well,
like they
no,
admitted
no, to most, no. To most, no.
Right? Like, wouldn't it be fake news all day?
Oh, we're going straight to the Wikipedia.
The Patterson.
Straight to the source.
Oh, this is it. Okay, so let's look. They got the wiki here. I'm going to zoom in a bit because it's probably pretty. Oh, we had it before.
We're gonna read this. We're gonna read this whole thing.
No,
the
I'm
whole
gonna
thing. We're
skim
just
it.
gonna-
Let me
just gonna
skim
look-
it for you guys. You're a little toasty right now. Encounter.
But I mean, like, as cool as it would be for cryptids to exist, I feel like most of them that don't have a biological like grounding in like how like current creatures work, I think it's unlikely. It's unlikely. I don't think it's impossible. But what do you? I guess like you can get into like the interdimensional type aspect of it. Are they aliens?
We're going Alec Jones.
I guess. I mean, like, could they be aliens? Like,
how does monkey transfer through multiple dimensions? I guess that's the question. I'm like,
monkey?
Yeah, Bigfoot's a big monkey.
How do you know that? But like, what do you think? Because he has hair on him, he's dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's racist.
What if his
A
planet?
little bit, yeah.
What if his
Listen,
planet or dimension
listen,
is fucking
I'm just
cold,
looking
dude?
around at my fellow apes, and I look in the jungle. They pretty dumb. If you haven't watched Chimp Empire,
I have seen that on Netflix.
Actually, that is a very good show, and actually,
It is.
they're a lot more intelligent, a lot more social than what you would
there's like
think.
a social network to
But-
chimps, right? Like there's like the leader, like they have a genuine
But
leader, right?
no, but there's no reason to be beating your wife because you want to show who's alpha. There's no reason to be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
As an ape, there's no reason to be doing that. No, just no. Yeah, usually more hair, more animalistic, the dumber you are. It's just, at least that's what we see in our own existence.
Animalistic. I mean, like what is
What a
animal?
white man taking
All
North
right, all
America.
right. Look at us. Look at
Yeah.
us. We have a lot of similarities with apes. Look at a chimp, smaller, airier. What is it? Smaller. Wait. I believe a chimp has a smaller brain, but larger intestines. Whatever.
Yeah, but
whatever
they're
it is.
stronger. I mean, like, but you gotta also consider that is just for
because
our
you're sitting here
planet,
drinking,
right? That's just
drinking
for our
apple
planet.
flavored alcohol. Of course, they're stronger. This is like, but no, it's just look at it as like they're just dumber. They're more focused on, I don't know, what would you say, survival and being an animal, while we're more, I don't know, we're more manipulative, or we're more using our brain, I guess.
But like you look at like let's say they live on a planet like Hoth, right? Like biologically, even if they were smart,
Star
it would be
Wars reference.
I mean, like I'm just giving an example. It would be evolutionary or whatever you want to call it, correct for them to retain their hair even if they increase their intelligence. So
Yeah.
I think ultimately it's energy conservation. So if a creature is able to develop intelligence that's beneficial to them at the same time that they can also retain their hair without that affecting how much energy they spend on it, I
Sounds like
think
we're
it's
talking
possible.
about a Marvel fucking movie, but like, how is this 10-foot gorilla walking around without any technology to like be able to warp between?
assuming
Where
it's
did
an
the
alien,
warping come from?
an alien, Bigfoot being an alien is kind of like ridiculous. Bigfoot
You just said interdimensional and
I-
alien. You just said that.
I
I'm
know.
going there. I'm going there with you.
I understand. I guess the point I'm trying to make is that like Bigfoot is the most believable cryptid with our current understanding of reality, right? Is that an impossible thing to exist currently?
No, I don't think it is, because we know it existed. We know that these things have existed before, but just why now? It's like everything that was large died off. So why wouldn't Bigfoot died off? And if he was so intelligent, I don't know. It just there's a lot of things that I really can't explain it. I'm just not buying the whole Bigfoot thing. I'm just sorry. I guess I really don't have a good argument for it. I'm just not buying it.
Bigfoot's at home watching a stream right now, and he's
Yeah.
like, they don't suspect a thing. They think I'm an idiot.
He's just a
He's
shaved
reading,
up Florida
He's
man.
reading Sun Tzu right now, where it's like, make your enemy think that you're dumb.
Right.
It's too far out there. I don't know. Like if you're an intelligent humanoid 10-foot monster thing, I don't know. I expect more from you. I expect technology. I don't know. I expect.
So let's assume it is real. Where is it at? Where is Bigfoot right now? If it's alive, where is it? Where are they? Where are the Bigfoot men, women, children?
I don't know. I don't know. I just ask him, where's his clothing? Where's his huts?
Clothing. Clothing.
Yeah. Where's his huts? Where's his tools?
You think it
Where's his bones? Where's his mother? Where's his daughter? Where's his sons? Where's his girlfriend? That's all I'm asking.
Where is everything?
Where is everything?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
We're finding 2,000, well, I guess over 2,000-year-old buildings and bones from 10,000 years ago. Which, if we want to get into the ancient history is a fucking lie, by the way, and it is.
That's another podcast.
It is, dude. I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of Graham Hancock and I can't remember his name, but he does like geography and stuff like that. That the pyramids are much older. If you didn't know this, you cannot carbon date stone, so nobody knows how old the pyramids are themselves, the buildings. So whoever moved in could have just moved in and be like, yeah, I'm great. You know, the sociopaths and the psychopaths of the old days could be like, yeah, I built this, I'm great. You know what I mean? So we actually have no idea how old the pyramids are. You cannot carbon date stone. It has to be organic, living material to be able to carbon date. If you didn't know that, which I found shocking. So when people tell you they know how old the pyramids are, lie. So exactly. So you may find pottery and stuff around there, but you don't know who and when brought that in.
Mm-hmm.
So look it up.
I did watch a recent Netflix thing on like they had just unearthed some like tomb or whatever else and got like a new book of like the dead or whatever the fuck from like their like scroll.
Göbekli Tepe, I think that's in Turkey. So bad with my facts, I'm sorry, but they dated the stuff around there. They carbon dated the stuff around there over 20,000 years old, which blows ancient history out of the water.
Well,
How can you compete with that?
I did watch an Ancient Apocalypse with that one guy that you mentioned before I even knew that Ancient Apocalypse.
Oh yeah, Ancient Apocalypse.
What's his name? What's his
Graham
name?
Hancock.
Graham Hancock. He suggests that there was some like great like event that happened like 20,000 years ago.
His amazing quote
that
is
wiped out like it was like either a big flood or like some kind of like meteor or like what it was, like I don't know what it was.
Well, we obviously have all the histories. We have the Bible. I can't remember what else, but I believe what is it? We're getting way off into the weeds, but the Bible. What else has stories of floods? I believe the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Dead Sea Scrolls are a manuscript of the Bible. But no, it's fucking Hammurabi, like the Gilgamesh, the Epic of Gilgamesh.
Yes, we have all these histories of floodings and disasters and apocalypses, and he believes that probably from an asteroid hitting the ice caps. But I've also heard recently, this is another one, that supposedly Earth can have like a polar shift, which can cause mass tidal waves.
I've heard that too, where it has a magnetic. It's like we have a
magnetic sphere flips.
Yeah, just randomly magnetic. Or what randomly? I'm sure there's some science behind it.
So this is what. So like Graham Hancock's famous quote is, "We are a civilization with amnesia, and we're trying to wake up from the disaster to find out that, and all these things that we're being told in the Bible, and hell is created like after the apocalypse. Everyone's going to war, trying to survive. Where like, I lost my train of thought, but
Yeah, I mean, with the Ancient Apocalypse thing, I mean, like most cultures, like you would expect them to be older than what they are, or like what we've discovered. But like the water table shifts, it like raised. Was it lower or higher than what it was? What was it?
No, the sea level was way lower. So we actually, this is actually also to Graham Hancock is he believes that a lot of our ruins, which we don't even explore, are underwater. They're being slowly eroded away. And if you actually go underwater, a lot of ruins underneath there, and guess what? We're not exploring them.
Yeah, there's like some big like structure like off the
Road.
coast of Florida.
Oh,
Road. You know what it is. You already know what the fuck it is.
I've watched. I think I've watched maybe. Yeah, no, trust me, I know this. A lot of what would you say? And I know. I don't think it's in Florida. The road. I think it's somewhere in the east. I think it's somewhere over in Europe.
As far as I remember, it was, but it may be somewhere else. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
no, but there's tons of them all over the place. Tons of them. But
That's that would be
I'm drawing a
interesting.
blank, so I
So,
apologize.
boys, we are now 3 hours into a 2-hour podcast.
Let's keep going.
So it's definitely fun. I do want to point out Katie's comment here, and then we can decide how we want to go from here. He said, "I wonder if more sightings come after scary events or fear-mongering things when people are more paranoid. Like there are more Bigfoot sightings after the government talks about aliens or something like that. I think, and that is coming from a Florida man."
We actually did see a huge uptick in UFO sightings. Why I do not know why. Is that because of drama and all the stuff going on in the world, or
I mentioned this
who
a bit
knows?
with chance, right? Like, what? Why is it taking us so long to capture like indisputable UFO evidence? And are we kind of past that point of being able to like prove that UFOs are real without being worried that it's like some conspiracy thing or somebody just edited it in like some kind of film editing
Right.
software?
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
who's this guy? He knows
So-
what he's talking about. The lesser dry ass period.
Thaddeus
Yeah,
Kilius again. That's my dad. Same guy from WoW.
he knows what he's talking
Yeah,
about.
he
Yeah, he
does.
So
knows.
on the YouTube comments for anybody on Twitch, Thaddeus Kilius just commented lesser Dryas or younger Dryas after the last flood.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. It sounds like you know it.
It's in relation to the whole like explanation for like why it is humanity doesn't have like cultures beyond like 20,000 years ago.
All right.
Is that there was some giant flood that caused like
Yeah, no,
the
look,
ice age and
around
everything
that time,
like that.
it's a certain amount of time. I think if you go into the ground and like you're taking like if you're looking around, like if you've ever seen a sheared off cliff and you see the layer of sand and stuff like that, all around, all over the world, no matter where you go, if you go down to that layer of dirt, which is around the same time, I do not know the exact year, but it's all around the same exact time. You go to the ice sheets, and I think they take those cores out, and even I think somehow through the air, like I think like the I don't know, like the bubbles of the oxygen in it and the layers of it in the ice, they can somehow determine around the years and the time. All around the same time, you've got glass, you've got like, and to create glass, you have to have a lot of heat.
A lot of heat, yeah.
There's like soot, there's like...
They're saying like solar flares and stuff like that, right?
No, all they know is something tragic happened. What caused it, we don't know. We can speculate that it's a comet coming down from the Earth. We can speculate that it's a polar shift. Some people think it's Planet X, the 10th planet crashing into
Planet
Earth.
X doesn't
or,
exist.
Or,
I don't
or
believe
coming
in Planet
close to
X.
it. No, I
Sorry,
don't
sorry.
either.
Planet X is supposed to be this planet that's a rogue planet,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, but
If you want to explain that a bit, just so you don't confuse people.
I don't know. What is it called? Nibiru? I think they called the freaking people who live on this planet. I don't know. All I know about Planet X.
Dude,
What people
hold
live
the
on
fuck
the
up!
Oh yeah. Oh no.
What is going
listen,
on?
Listen, I'm so terrible for podcasts because like I know a lot of stuff, but I can't tell you specifics. Like I'm so bad for this. I apologize.
So Planet X is either a doppelganger planet, which is a planet that is on the exact opposite end of the solar system as us, that is always obscured behind the sun that we can't
Oh,
see.
conveniently.
Or B,
And-
or B, it is considered a rogue planet,
Yes,
which
yeah.
has it's theoretically possible a planet that is able to have a bisolar orbit to where it goes around our sun and flips and goes around another sun. and
you
it
know
comes back.
why'd you have me explain it? You knew.
Never heard of the citizens of this planet before.
No way the mass. Like just
No, yeah.
thinking about this from like a physics perspective.
And that's why
the
they think
mass,
just by coming near it fucks up the gravitation. Well, whatever the point is, we're getting into the weeds. For whatever reason, around the Younger Dryas period, something happened that fucked Earth up.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
real. This is real
That-
shit.
that is a
like,
fact.
conspiracies aside, the aspect that like 20,000 years ago that there was some giant flood, which is kind of like creepy because that is what the Bible like
Exactly.
says that
and
happened.
Gilgamesh, yeah.
There was Gilgamesh. There was some event that genuinely happened around that age.
This is not to be
That-
debated, even
yeah.
though there are hardcore historians, and this is what I do. We're kind of getting. Let's just have fun. Let's just get into it. Dude, no, but like see, this is where I wish his name. There is a guy who's in Egypt, who's known as the main historian, who's known. He has a reputation, which I think is the problem. And there are these historians and these old school people who've been in who don't want to be wrong, or they want their narrative to be right, and they're known for being historians. Graham Hancock tried to have a debate with him, and this dude just ended up screaming and yelling, calling him a conspiracy theorist. And Graham Hancock didn't do anything and didn't want to debate and just left, just raged. And like nobody will know that, but this is the guy who's writing the history books. This is the guy who's giving the narrative, and like that's not science.
I was just gonna say it's bad science. You
They're
should
not-
always want to be proven wrong.
Yeah, it's like
with
the whole
science.
point of science is like, and like, but also I think that takes the fun out of life. Where's the mystery? You tell me you got everything figured out? No, nobody's got anything. We can't even figure out how the human body works. Barely. We're still trying to figure that out. You know what I mean? It's just like, but like, it takes out the mystery of life, which takes out the life. But like, we're getting off again. But it's like these people. They suppress the information. They won't tell you this. They won't teach you this in school, which would actually bring people to want to love history. And I didn't start loving history and science until I got out of high school, when I started learning about these things. And this is not debatable. Göbekli Tepe is not debatable. Bones like of animals that shouldn't have been found in areas where they said that they didn't existed. Finding plants in Antarctica that was once tropical. These are not to be debated. These are facts. But people call you conspiracy theorists for knowing. This is why I don't talk about these things that much. It's like, this is facts. Now, what caused it? I can't tell you that. That's a conspiracy theory. Like we're talking about it. All we know is that something bad happened a long time ago that fucked up everywhere on the earth and caused all these issues. And most likely, most people on Earth got wiped out. And guess what? We sit here, we all want to drink and have fun and swipe right on freaking Tinder and stuff like that. The real problem is finding out what caused it and preparing ourselves for it. In the end, it's becoming Guardians of the Galaxy. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, like that's. I have one last topic about that I would love to talk about with you later in the future if we talk about like aliens stuff like that. There's this like concept of like there being a great filter for every like advanced civilization in the universe that like stops them from being able to put radio transmissions out that like we should have been able to detect by now, because our radio transmissions have like reached out like into the like legitimately into the galaxy by now, and we have not received anything.
Assuming they're using that type of technology.
What
or
would that
receiver.
great filter be? Because I believe that life is abundant in the universe. I believe that it has to be. Not just like, oh, there's a few cultures. There has to be an abundance of life. What is stopping, alien species from colonizing the galaxy, universe, whatever you want to call it? Well, what is stopping them from doing it?
Well, why would they want to colonize? Is a real question. It's like, actually, my friend Tristan, shout out to him, just linked me a little clip of Neil deGrasse Tyson. It's like, I think people are projecting what humans are onto aliens. They're afraid of themselves. Like, we've seen how monstrous and how shitty we are. Talking about chimps, we're pretty disgusting. Just look around. Just look around right now. It's pretty disgusting. Greed and selfishness, ego has caused all this pain and suffering. It's like, so we're projecting that on the aliens. If you're so advanced where you can travel across large vast of time, you can find more Earths. You can find a way to extract the resources off of a more dangerous planet than Earth. Like, yeah, Earth may be safer and maybe richer, but like, you're assuming that they're going to be like us, shitty to us. They could be, but they can also be freaking monks flying around. Who knows? They could be like, whatever. Yeah.
I think it gets into like a morality question, though, right? It's like,
who are they?
Like what is their purpose? Like, is every successful civilization going to be as expansionist as humans?
A second. Say that again.
Is every civilization going to be expansionist? Like,
no, they might not. They might just, like you said, who knows? Who are they?
Is being expansionist, is that a requirement for intelligence?
Yeah. Did they just create a metal planet and they're just living the dream in the Matrix right now? They're just popping off dopamine transmissions everywhere. I mean, who knows? They could be living in a small cube.
They're smoking that alien weed every day, baby. We don't need to do anything else. We're just fucking, we wake up, we smoke that weed, and we fucking
every
have
time
our
a comic comes
fantasies,
by,
and we die eventually.
AI just zaps it as soon as the comic comes by.
But like in all seriousness, like what stops them? Like what happens if, like, what if that great filter is that they just eventually create their own virtual reality where like expanding into the universe is meaningless because they can just create a fictional world that they can just live
exactly.
in.
But assuming they're advanced, we're assuming they're advanced. They can do anything and whatever they want. It's like who they can be or what they are can be whatever. They can be the marauding, conquering, freaking alien empire that we all fear that's gonna wipe us out or enslave us or harvest us. Whatever our fears can I think fear is one of the driver of what people fear about aliens.
I mean, that's
You know
how
what I
we
mean?
survive,
The
though.
super
We
predator.
fear it, so we create solutions.
It's
to
also very what would you say, primitive to think of us as predators, like the ultimate super predator is the alien. I guess that would be. It's also very, very fearful, very fear-driven, tribalistic. Look, they're gonna come conquer us, kill us. It's like, I'm not buying it. If something's that advanced, they don't care about us. Now, I'm not gonna go with Neil deGrasse Tyson farm and be like, they don't give a shit about us. No. We're the best reality TV show you've ever seen, probably, or at least one of the best 5 channels out there. But there's another 5 channels out there you can watch. You know what I mean? but yeah, it's just like, if you're that advanced, meh. Fun entertainment. Let's not interfere with them. Let's let them grow. If they win, they win. Maybe they want to be productive. I don't know. Who knows? If they're out there. Mm-hmm. And I also, hot take, I disagree with that. What's that algorithm that everybody goes like, oh, there's so many planets out there. There has to be.
Oh, yeah.
I actually disagree with that algorithm. I've never looked at it, never studied it, but I'm going to disagree with it. And it's a very ignorant take. But
All right.
No. Listen, no. See, exactly. Like, Dom, you're too stupid to say something like that. But think about it. I highly doubt. No, you blew it off. No, listen. But like, I highly doubt your algorithm can calculate in rogue asteroids that are flying around just Saturn itself. You don't know how the universe functions. Mm-hmm. How are you going to calculate in how many livable advanced civilizations going to be out there? You're not talking about supernovas. You're not talking about, we don't know how big or if infinite the galaxy is. So like, is there a Goldilocks zone within our Goldilocks zone? Because we know the Milky Way exists. So like, if we're on the far, what I think they think that we're not. All we know is that we're moving. We don't know if it's a singular point or not. We know we're expanding. We're moving fast. So how do you know what this is? Are we in the sweet zone? Is on the outer edges chaos? Is civilization worse on the outer edges of expanding? Or let's say we're in like a torrent pattern, and like there's a cycle to life or to like planets and galaxies. Like, how do you know? How can you calculate all that in to how you know how civilizations? I call bullshit.
Here's my thing.
I know Dave's with me. Are you with me, Dave?
I think there's too much to know.
Exactly. There's too much to know to put into to an equation of like, there's going to be tons of civilizations out there. You don't know. Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up.
So here's the way I always looked at it. You have to look at our planet and look at how long life has existed on our planet and how long it took for intelligent life to come from that. So it took
very long time.
Millions, if not billions of years for life to reach the point where, like, on the universal scale, we can't even like realistically leave our own planet and like colonize something else in our own like solar system, let alone the rest of the galaxy. So I think that life, like zebras and fucking fish on other planets, is abundant. It's whether or not there is intelligent life is abundant out there, that's the difficult question. I would call a fish
pretty intelligent if out there, because those planets get extreme. We're talking about raining ice shards and shit. Shit gets wild out there on planets. You know what I mean? Like planets are like the hardcore Earth. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they go. You're talking about raining ice shards, man, and like just firestorms happening for years on time. He's like, what's the weather today? Fire. Just.
It's not even planets, like moons can support life too,
exactly,
right?
No, but think about how weird our moon is. Our moon is very unique, even vibrates when you hit it, which is weird. Think about its distance and how.
I'm sorry, what? The moon vibrates?
I love how he just like slides these things here. Like,
they shot that rocket into the moon and found out that there's water on the moon, and like that it rang a bit, and our moon, I believe, look this up. Look this up.
I never heard of us shooting a rocket. Why do we shoot a rocket at the moon?
I don't know. Ask whoever shot it.
Were we trying to kill fucking Megatron? Like what?
Wait, the moon rang.
The Fermi paradox.
Fermi paradox.
Your dad knows. You should have your dad on here. That's what you should have.
He
would do a better job than me right now. I'm trying. See, I feel like your dad's like ghost on. He's like his hands on my shoulder. He's like second son.
Tell them about the Fermi paradox.
Yes, bring out Toputengi. Do it.
I'm trying my best, Dad. I'm trying.
What are you looking
I
up?
looked up the moon ring. Okay, does the moon sound like a bell? Let's look this up.
See, if it's there's something already. I know I'm not making this up.
I've never heard of shooting a rocket at the moon.
These crashes caused moonquakes, and scientists measured the vibrations moving through the moon and found it rings like a bell.
Yeah, crazy. Like
So
our
what
moon.
is it? Is it hollow?
I'm reading it. I'm gonna.
Oh, let's not start getting into the hollow Earth theory, but
we gotta stop. Like read us a bit more. We do have
no,
to.
Tim, let's keep going.
We keep going. Oh my goodness, I'm trying to keep things uniform.
No. Okay, no. But let's stay on topic. Our moon is weird. It stays what? It stays mostly face towards us.
Yeah,
like
it's tidally locked.
It's exactly. Its orbit is strange, which you don't see everywhere else. Most places have multiple moons. Our distance from the sun, like we're in. When I say this Goldilocks zone, that shit's complex. More complex than I can give it credit to. And all that and more, and probably thousands of more examples, to just have us. You're gonna sit here and tell me that you can calculate advanced life and how much life should
Not
be
advanced
out there?
life. I think you can calculate life.
I don't know if the Fermi paradox is advanced or if it's just any. I actually don't know what the Fermi paradox is. If it's simple life, we're talking bacteria, of course. We found that on Mars, but I'm talking about like fish. I think fish is pretty far. At least like you're talking about an atmosphere and a way to sustain life. And I don't know. Physics doesn't really give much leeway. So I don't know how much diverse life, if we're talking about like jelly cubes, freaking alien life, or jelly aliens out there. I don't know how different you can get out there.
Jello.
You know what I mean? Like those people are like, oh, you can have like cloud people or like dust people or like jelly aliens. I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't know. Maybe a little bit of diversity out there, but the physics is
I mean, they have to follow our laws of like.
Well, I mean, it depends on. See, we're looking at it from only the perspective we can, which is our own. But like, you straight up just find a being that's not made of hydrogen and carbon.
Yeah.
Like you're changing everything.
Yeah,
you find
exactly.
a silicon-based life form. Like who knows?
And not only that, but like how do they develop technology? Like, is it like vastly different to how we develop technology, or is every civilization kind of forced to like go through the same kind of like strides that we went through in order to create the technology? Does every civilization create televisions, right? Will every civilization, if they're intelligent, will they eventually be like, here's a TV, I want to be able to see my other people like doing stuff on the TV,
Yeah.
Like,
I guess that would be a vision-based species or not, whether you would, I don't know, like sound pheromones or vibrations. We've seen that on our own planet.
I mean, like maybe the TV
like
operates in different wavelengths of light, right?
Yeah.
Like, but like I think that like something like computers is like something that every species creates if they're intelligent,
maybe
right?
not. I don't know. Or maybe because they didn't, they're stuck there. We don't know that. We don't know if you don't have the power of eyesight and you do like pheromones and vibrations, like let's say you're some like underground alien colony or something like that. Are they stuck? Are they now trapped there because of that? Because like we know in evolution, like some things just die because they don't make it. Like, so I don't know, like, are you now like we know that dolphins and whales are super intelligent, but are they hindered because they're not out of water? Are like, does physics now, like the way the universe works, like this is what I'm talking about, we know so little. Are they now trapped there? Are they bound to die off, or will they evolve to become mermaid people, or maybe eventually
Merman?
Who knows? Who knows? Like we don't know. All this stuff needs answers, and when we sit here and we make up these all I'm saying the what is it? The Fermi paradox bullshit. That's all I'm trying to say. There's too much we do not know. Yeah,
it's a statistical.
Will dolphins evolve or will they die? We can't answer that.
What do you have here, Dave?
We're not gonna be alone.
So make sure it's on the screen here. So just to go off of what Dom was talking about, the moon ringing like a bell. Whenever left the Earth.
What left the Earth?
8 hours later, sorry, after they left the moon. 8 hours later, they reunited with Dick Gordon, the command module, and sent their lunar module back to the moon. This is talking about the Apollo 12 mission,
Okay.
whatever this is. It impacted 40 miles away from the Apollo 12 landing site with the force of 1 ton of TNT. The resulting shockwave built up and peaked in just 8 minutes. It then took an hour to fully dissipate. Something happened with Apollo 13.
That's an interesting thing because like they don't have an atmosphere on the moon, or
There's
it's like they're
more.
very.
It goes into all that.
Okay.
The vibrations from the two impacts lasted longer than scientists expected, far longer than any equivalent vibrations last on Earth. It was almost as if the moon was ringing like a bell. The strange result forced scientists to think about the moon. Apparently, there's 4 different kinds of moonquakes that happen. And ultimately, it comes down to water. There's moisture in the materials that makes up our planet, expanding their structure. As energy from the earthquake moves through our planet, the damp material acts like a sponge, absorbing the energy of the waves and deadens their effects. But the moon is dry, cold, and rigid, more like solid rock than a sponge. So even if a moonquake is less intense, there's nothing to deaden the vibrations. They just go back and forth to the body until the solid stone eventually stops them, which is a ringing bell effect, reverberating through
I
the stone.
see. So it is still solid. It's just like an effect of just
The fact that it is so solid, that it's less gooey like the Earth
yeah,
is.
there's nothing
you know?
to stop the vibration to dissipate.
Yep.
I see. Okay, so
Yeah.
I was like thinking like, cause like I know there's like resources on the moon like helium-3 and stuff like that. Is like suspected to like I think like a pound of helium-3 is enough. So like it's either a pound or a ton. I know there's a huge difference, but like when you're taking on galactic scales, it's fucking irrelevant. But I think a pound of helium-3 is enough to power one of our cities for like a month. Which is like one of those things. I think it might be a ton, but it's one of those things where like if we start mining the moon, like how does that affect everything else?
No, we don't want to mess with the moon. We already know that it does something with our tides. We don't want to mess with that.
I know.
Yeah.
What if we replaced it with an equal amount of trash?
All right, start mining. Start mining. No.
Bring up the bags.
No,
Bring up all the plastic.
No, but asteroid mining, you want to talk about
We just
you
have
want
a
to talk about a
giant
$1 trillion
plastic
business?
moon.
Asteroid mining's where it's at.
Yeah,
Like if they start finding a way to mine asteroids, I'm investing. I'm investing in asteroid mining. If what is it? SpaceX can find a way to start mining asteroids, I'm in. Apparently there's a lot of crazy and insane rare metals that are rare on Earth but are abundant on mining. That's where the money's made. I think that's how. I think
Cobalt,
that.
titanium.
I
Those
think.
things that we
Yep,
kill each
I
other
think
for.
that's how we're going to be taken
Especially
into the
with like
future.
electric vehicles and stuff like that
It's
coming
money.
up soon.
It's
Yeah.
money. Who would have figured money's going to take us into the future? Mining those asteroids.
Spoken
big
like
money.
a true red-blooded American capitalist.
Hey, you know what? A lot of people hate on Elon Musk, and I don't know a lot about the situation. Like a lot of things, I'm like a Swiss Army knife. I know a lot about a lot of things, but I can't go deep into them. And I'm terrible with names and specifics, as your dad's pointed out. but whether or not Elon Musk is a fraud or he's evil, whatever people's opinion, I've had people get triggered by people bringing up his name. Oh, he's got this. I'm gonna I'm like, I don't know. I don't care. Whether he's good or bad, he's progressing us. Whether it's greed or whether it's actually good intention to help humanity progress, it's gonna bring us into the future, and that's all that matters. And it's gonna help us from that. The younger, whatever happened years ago, whether we've been here forever, taking forever for however long to evolve, or if we've been wiped to almost the brink of extinction multiple times in a reset, he's going to help humanity survive, or at least the greed will. Let's say like another company mines asteroids. That's in like a, what would you say, second wind or something, or like kind of like I don't know, like a backlash of that. It's going to help us regardless. It can only help us. And that's all I'm for. Let's mine some asteroids. Let's No Man's Sky this bitch.
2023.
Listen,
Let's mine
Tim,
some
Tim,
asteroids.
No Man's Sky is setting an example to save humanity.
I'm
That's why.
sure they
We're
are.
bringing it back, baby. We're bringing it back.
Well, with that, I mean, I think we covered like a lot more than I expected to talk about.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty happy with how we went. I'm glad that you came on, Dom. I know that you were the biggest fan of drinking, but I think you did pretty well.
Oh yeah, no, it got dicey on some areas. I barely survived that, and I was trying to go. I was like, oh, I'm rambling on. I'm going nowhere.
Yeah, I hope people enjoyed the conversation topics. If you want to see some of these things revisited in a future episode with Dom, I mean, he was a great guest. I'm glad you came on here. I think we had a lot of fun talking. Feel free to throw those out in the comments or whatever else on the YouTube channel. And yeah, thanks again for coming, Dom. Is there any last words you want to say for the podcast?
Any last words, bitch?
Yeah. Any final thoughts?
No Man's Sky helped us into the future to save humanity. Tim was wrong.
All right, so we're adding another 30 minutes to this podcast.
Don't be greedy.
Okay.
Don't be greedy.
Don't be greedy. When it comes to those little things, go the extra mile. Do it. You know what I mean? It all matters. We can all do better. We all can be better. Let's do it. That's about it.
Wow, that was inspirational.
That was very inspirational. All right, well, thank you guys for joining us for this episode of Shot Takes, and we hope to see you in the next one.